The sight of Yunwu and others suddenly looked in the direction of the breath. A figure slowly came out of the forest. The man was wearing a silver robe, a pair of phoenix eyes full of charm, and a warm and uninhibited smile at the corner of his mouth. It was like a spring breeze, steady and natural. The whole person looks a bit bohemian, some gentle, some evil indifference, just like a contradiction. Zhuang Li, don't you want to stop running around? Why are you still fighting with people? The man took a look at the shivering warcraft, with a helpless smile on the corner of his mouth, but there was a kind of indifference and dignity in his words that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance looked at him. Intuition told her, this person is not a simple character. And Zhou Feiyu, at the moment of seeing him, in his sharp eyes, was surprised and examined. The relaxed and joyful atmosphere around him suddenly became dignified. He was looking at him in Yunwu. The man also looked at Yunwu with a smile on his lips, but Yunwu felt so dangerous. Nice to meet you, little Dance. After the man came out of the forest, he came to the Cloud Dance and extended a friendly hand. Cloud Dance looks at a hand in front of body, micro frown. Call her a little Dance? He knew her? How in her memory, this is the first time to meet. The man took back his stiff hand in the air and continued to say, Xiao Wu, do you want to pass here? In the future, you can walk at ease. Whoever dares to stop you will die. Then he turned his eyes to the warcraft. I saw that the warcraft named Zhuang Li, who was scared or clever, touched the man's eyes and fell on the ground. I know me. Cloud Dance Mao light a cold. Affirmation is to have never seen this person. Of course, it can even be said to be familiar. Well done. Cloud Dance squints. Yes, you are my master's apprentice's cousin's distant relative's neighbor's son's future daughter-in-law. Can you be unfamiliar? Sitalon said, but he looked at Yunwu sincerely. He thought that he didn't lie. Cloud Dance has a black face. She only heard the last few words, the future daughter-in-law, His Royal Highness the Prince of the Kingdom of An has come all the way to Longshu. Is it that the Kingdom of An can no longer accommodate you? Just at this time, Zhou Feiyu coagulates Situlan and comes to him with deep eyes. The cloud dances to smell speech, the Mao light passes a silk undercurrent. He unexpectedly is an kingdom prince? But she had no contact with the kingdom of Anin. He is a prince of an kingdom. How can he know her? Cloud Dance can't help but slightly squint a Mao sun, stare at that Situlan, but in the mind of brush of turn, guess this is exactly how one thing. Situlan smiles and looks up and down at Zhou Feiyu. Suddenly, the corner of his mouth said with a smile, the kingdom of An is really small, so I came to Longshu to explore the way, but now I'm disappointed. I'm going to the Zhou dynasty to look for my eyes. This brother knows my heart. Zhou Feiyu's face turned black when he heard the speech. But soon, Zhou Feiyu said with an awe-inspiring smile, Your Highness has a great ambition. I also want to see you succeed instead of stealing chicken and eating rice. Situlan patted Zhou Feiyu on the shoulder to reassure him, I don't want to do anything that I'm not sure about. Then, he continued to look back at Yunwu, and the charming eyes narrowed toward her. In the next Situlan, remember my name. The cloud dances to smell speech, the eye ground tiny dark flow of flash, lift the eye tiny to glance a dragon to pour evil. See, at this time of long Qing evil, is both hands embrace chest, smile not smile of looking at Situlan. I like this girl very much. I don't know if I have a lover? Situlan looked back at the dragon and asked him. There was a smile in his charming eyes. Long Qingxia hugs the cloud-dancing waist with deep eyes. However, the corner of the mouth sneers but raises to look at that Situlan. I am, covet my woman's person, sooner or later, I will not let go. After hearing this, Situlan bowed his head to endure a smile. Then he sighed with a sad look, I'd rather have my intention, but the beauty is merciless, alas. After a sigh, Situlan suddenly put his eyes on Yunwu again. Suddenly, she grabbed her sleeve like excitement and said, Xiao Wu, be careful in choosing a mate. If you jump down a fire pit, you can't get out. I'm the straw in the fire pit. Grab me and leave the fire pit. Yunwu was shocked by his sudden excitement. Fire pit? Is there something wrong with the Prince of An Kingdom? But soon, Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a touch of meditation, which is also a prince, and the image is good, but what he said is so wrong. Who does it feel like? Yunwoo suddenly turns her eyes and glances at the dragon nearby. It can't be Cloud Dance. Pour also quietly, the corner of the mouth suddenly outlines a touch of radiance. Stretch out a hand to pull back own sleeve from that C2 Lan hand. Thanks, but I prefer the fire pit. It's a big space. Situ Lan was stunned. How big is the fire pit? But Situ Lan said with a smile, then I am the sea. Leave the fire pit and sink into the sea. Cloud Dance's mouth raised a sneer. Sorry, I am allergic to the smell of sea nausea. Disgusting? Situ Lan took a puff from the corner of his mouth. Dragon Qing evil smell speech. The corner of the mouth appears a smile, eyes like provocative looking at Situ Lan. Situ Lan gave him a helpless smile. All right. With the voice of a fall, Cloud Dance again look at him. He has been riding on the back of the Warcraft. While walking, I don't forget to sigh. Merciless is a woman since ancient times. My heart is full of wounds. Poof. Hearing this, I almost feel the impulse to spray rice. The Cloud Dances to endure the corner of the mouth twitch, but slant ahead, glanced at the man nearby one eye. The next second, an elbow. Dragon Qing evil eat pain a hum, let go to embrace her waist of hand, the corner of the mouth is still dyed with a smile. After that, Yunwoo didn't ask him any more. Instead, he got up and continued to go into the forest. Anyway, Situ Lan just said that they could enter at will, which was naturally the best. The change of the tornado was in the forest. She had to see what was in it. A few people went to the deep forest together. However, the more you go into it, the more gloomy you feel. The trees are tall and dense, showing a sense of seclusion. It's strange. Generally, there are some Warcraft or other small animals in the deep forest. But along the way, I didn't see any Warcraft. Is it the beast of Situ Lan that empties out the road for them and makes them unable to walk? Until half an hour later. Suddenly, an anomaly appeared in the forest. Cloud Dance raises mouth to see a few black-robed people are escaping. Is it from the Beast Gate? I'll go. Just as Yunwoo was about to catch up with her, Zhou Feiyu stopped her step. Her figure flashed and immediately caught up with her. I'll follow you. Shengguan followed closely. After two people chased past, two people's figures soon disappeared in the woods. However, at this time, on the other side of the woods, the figure of the man in black was also found. The Cloud Dances and the eyes are cold. I'll go. When Yunwoo wants to catch up again, Nangong Yi and Lu Bai's figures go ahead of her. All of a sudden, she was left with the dragon. Seeing Nangongji and Lu Bai disappear, Yunwoo has a bad feeling in her heart. She always feels that she has been played and teased. Don't worry, it will be okay. Dragon Qing evil corner of the mouth a bend, looking at the Cloud Dance frown up eyebrow, the Mao light flits past a smile. Cloud Dance looks at him one eye, the eye ground flash a touch of deep. I don't think so. Is this man the one who made it? See Cloud Dance stare at him to look at, long Qing evil pick eyebrow, a face innocent shrug. Otherwise, I'll go and have a look. Are you waiting for me here? Cloud Dance thought for a moment. This forest does not have a strong sense of killing, they should be okay. However, she still nodded. After all, the strength of Dragon Qing Xie, she was very relieved. Protect yourself, or you'll feel sorry for your husband. Dragon Qing evil spirit a smile. The figure schemes, then disappeared in front of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance looked at the shadow of the rapid shuttle, mouth slightly young. Although, this man's mouth is cheap sometimes, she can't bear it, but the occasional caring words are very useful. It's just as she continues to move on. Yunwoo's eyebrows gradually wrinkled, because she suddenly felt that the more she walked, the more she felt that there were two eyes looking at her. With the spirit of search, but found nothing unusual. Just then, all of a sudden, she found that the light of the forest in front of her was obviously bright, and she could hear the sound of huge waves. The elements of Cloud Dance and wind wrap around the body, and soon sweep out of the woods. Outside the woods, what comes into view is a cliff. On the cliff, the waterfall flows straight down, and below it is a river. Yunwoo looked at the endless waterfall and cliff, his eyes narrowed slightly, thinking, this should be at the foot of a cliff, right? Standing at the bottom of the cliff, the clouds raised their heads and glanced at the silver waterfall. Not surprisingly, I really found that through the water flow, a faint shadow could be seen. Is it a cave? Cloud danced slightly pick eyebrow. It seems, the place of the dragon roll induction, should be here. When Yunwoo glanced at the waterfall, he didn't have any hesitation. With a jump, he immediately headed for the waterfall cave. Poof! The sound of entering the water. The figure, like a phantom, swept into the entrance of the waterfall. And the moment the cloud dances into the cave, two figures appeared in the forest on the side of the cliff. The angle was just enough to see the scene clearly. This woman is really attractive. Situ landing the place where the clouds disappeared, with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Dragon Ching Evil looked at him, one eye, mouth light slightly a dark. My woman does not need who to evaluate. Are you jealous? Situ Lan seems to have found a new world. His eyebrows are inclined to fly. What are you doing here? Long Qingxia looks at Situ Lan and his sword eyebrows sink slightly. Situ Lan put away his uninhibited appearance and said, you are not his opponent now. You need my help. I'll say it if I need to. Long Qingxia's mouth was smiling, and he looked at him sideways. Situ Lan didn't hold on for 2 seconds, and his solemnity disappeared again. Can't you say yes? For you, Zhuang Yu's tail has been cut off, and now he still quarrels with me. Now, I give my baby to your woman in vain. Can't I stay here for a few more days? Isn't it living? It will grow out sooner or later. It's going to take more than 10 days, isn't it? It's an estrus with the mother now. Without the tail, the chance of being thrown is almost 100%. It's used to being dumped too. One more time, it's okay. Si-Tu Lan sighed when he heard the speech. Having seen his ruthlessness for a long time, he could not help sighing and shaking his head for Zhuangzi. However, Situ Lan then looked at him and said, I'm here for a few days. When you come back, please let me know. Leisure is okay. You have to hide your identity. Many people in Zhou Feiyu and Long Shuguo recognize you. You have to change your face. Long Qingxia looks at the entrance of the cave, his eyes are dark. Situ Lan's face schwa's black come down, Mao Guang indifference of looking at Long Qingxia. What all right, this don't discuss. It's not going to work. We don't discuss anything. Long Qingxia looked at him and did not step back. Situ Lan glanced at the dragon and thought for a moment. Then he said with a smile, I can change my face, but I want to stay by your woman's side for a new identity. On the one hand, I can protect her, on the other hand, I can monitor her for you. Dragon's evil face turns black. Just use this face, it doesn't matter. Situ Lan looked at Long Qingxia's figure and then turned to leave with a smile. Boy, that woman has really become your weakness. I don't know whether to worry or be happy for you. After shaking his head, Situ Lan turned and disappeared into the woods. Yunwoo walks into the cave and takes a look around. The cave is not big, and there are no forks in all directions. There are only 4 smooth stone walls. It seems that there is nothing inside. It doesn't look like a place to hide good things. However, as soon as she came in, the tornado reaction was more intense. As if, what attracts it, let her step by step into. If not. As soon as Yunwoo approached, he saw a small piece of jade fishing on the stone wall in the cave. However, when Yunwoo saw the jade, her eyes were shining. It's too familiar. Just like when she got the incomplete fragments of the tornado, her breath fluctuated. It's a fragment of a tornado. No wonder the tornado reacts so much. However, Yunwoo raised her eyes to see that the dragon scroll was hung by a vine, and always felt strange. It's like someone put it here on purpose. However, the vines are covered with moss, which seems to have been released for some years. It's estimated that she's too thoughtful. A little anxious. Yunwoo jumped up in the air, took out a dagger to cut the vine, and fished the dragon into his hand. She looked at the jade in her hand, and almost didn't need her to do anything. The dragon scroll in the chaos hall automatically inhaled the incomplete dragon scroll in the jade. At that moment, Yunwoo seemed to feel that the tornado seemed more complete. Just did not expect, so easy to get the tornado fragments, always feel a bit unrealistic. After all, the sky is not a good thing for nothing. However, it is at this time. Gigi. A fierce and sharp bird call broke the sound of the waterfall and came to the ear of Cloud dancing. At this moment, she seemed to feel the anger of the bird, as if it was aimed at her. Cloud dance eyes a sink, figure a flash. In the twinkling of an eye, figure left the cave. As soon as she got out of the cave, the figure of Dragon Qing Xie came back to her just like time. Little thing, you can run so fast. I've been chasing you all the way from my husband. Yunwoo glanced at him suspiciously. Chasing her all the way? This man really thinks she's a 3-year-old. However, Cloud Dance did not break the point and asked, "Are they all right?" "They're okay, but my husband's hurt." Long Qingxie's charming and handsome face looks at the Cloud Dance like grievance. Injured? His breath is steady and full of zhongqi. Is this the injured state? If she believed it, she would be stupid. What's wrong? Let me see. Cloud Dance pretends to anxiously inspect him up and down. The worry in the eye is obvious. Here it is. Dragon Qing evil refers to the heart, evil spirit of the hook mouth, magnetic way, feel about to be torn. Cloud Dance glances at his chest, his face is cold, but there is a trace of helplessness in his eyes. Gu Yun has used poison to fight poison, which is also a truth. Just tear it twice. Long Qingxie chuckled and said, "Little thing, you are so cruel." Cloud Dance white he one eye, helpless way, don't make trouble it came. It of course, means that at this time, a golden eagle galloping from the sky. The Cloud dances to lift the mow of looking at that from empty but come of gold carve, tiny Siu eyebrow. Level 7 Warcraft? It's really rare to meet such a rare advanced Warcraft. Golden eagle gallops in mid-air, a pair of powerful wings whistling. However, its sharp animal eyes are staring at Yunwoo angrily, a pair of claws stretched straight. It seems that it wants to tear Yunwoo. Did she provoke it? Cloud Dance depressed, however, but soon put this gold carving, think is to guard the dragon in the cave. Perhaps, it is more reasonable to think so. However, it seems that the gold carving is not easy to cope with. Dragon Qingxie looked at the golden eagle with a curved corner of his mouth. The golden eagle, the high breed of flying beasts, is still a 7-level flying beast. It is estimated that it is difficult to tame with wisdom. You should be careful, little thing. The Cloud dances to smell speech, coagulate one-eye dragon to pour evil. Is he telling her to tame it? Look at the ferocious momentum of the golden carving, the animal's eyes are nimble and flickering, and it has the general humanity. If it's a cub, maybe it's easier to tame, but if you want to tame the 7-level Warcraft, it's not easy. In particular, it is even more difficult to keep its animal nature tame. However, Cloud Dance has suddenly aroused some interest. Good. Then I'll try. She has read the trainer's secret script. Just like training animals, taming animals can grasp their weaknesses, defeat them at one time and wipe out their brutality. Then they can completely tame them and become obedient ones. However, that kind of Warcraft, is no different from domestic animals, and has lost any aggressiveness. What Yunwoo wants to tame can't be that. To be tamed, it is necessary to let it keep its animal nature, and let it be willing to obey. That is enough addiction. Suddenly, before the golden eagle attacked, Yunwoo took the lead in throwing his sword at the golden eagle. The golden eagle looked at the figure in front of him. His eyes flashed with anger, and his sharp voice screamed again. "Haw! It's very harsh." Cloud Dance mouth a yang, brandish the big knife in the hand, split empty but go, hit that half-empty gold carving directly. However, the golden carving is extremely flexible, so it hides. Haw! The roar pierced the sky. However, the golden eagle is a little strange, and did not attack immediately, as if taking into account something. The Cloud dances, the eye light is narrowed, the black flame big knife is waved again, the sonorous and sharp sound gallops in the wind, and the strong power splits to the golden carving in an instant. This time, the golden eagle hid slowly, and the feather on his back was brushed off by the big knife. Haw! The golden eagle was angry. The cloud dance is not stupid. Naturally, it can't be seen. Although the golden eagle is fierce, it has never really attacked from the beginning to the end. It has been tamed by others. However, it makes cloud dance more interesting. I don't know. Can you tame it from others to yourself? It seems more challenging. However, at this time, Yunwoo's eyes were clear, and he suddenly said, I don't know if it will be more enjoyable to cut off the hair on your buttocks and make a down jacket. Gee girl, don't go too far. Under the roar of the golden eagle, a man's voice suddenly spits out. Cloud dance smell speech eyebrow a pick, some curious with interesting. Although her cannibal flower, small stink are born will be people's words, also saw that red fire dragon words. However, this other Warcraft can speak, she still feels quite novel. So, you can talk. Who is your master? Let's hear about it. Maybe I'll think about not herring your ass. The cloud dances like a smile. Among the golden eagles, being plucked from their buttocks is the most shameless thing. It's a naked shame. Of course, for this point as a human cloud dance naturally do not know. You arrogant human, I can't bear it. Under the roar of the golden eagle, the attack suddenly hit. Cloud dance see this, not from the corner of the mouth, sneer general glance at the golden carving. The next second, wind element wrapped. Wave the big knife, every time the place of attack is gold carving on the ass. When Long Qingxia watched Yunwoo fight with the golden carving, he couldn't help laughing. Under the black dosha, there is warmth in the deep and unpredictable eyes. There are always some strange ideas in this little thing's head. All of a sudden, Jindiao jumps and flies to the cave. Standing outside the cave, Dragon Qingxia's figure has already reached another not far place, making room for the golden carving. If this little thing wants to tame it, it must do it by itself. The cloud dances, his eyes are covered with frost, and his figure sneaks into the cave like the wind. But in the moment of entering the hole, Zheng lunged for a moment, because there is no gold carving in the hole. She saw the golden carving enter the cave. How could it? Cloud dance can't help but squint eyes, look around the cave, but there is still nothing unusual. Is that golden carving still invisible? The spirit is out. Suddenly, Cloud Dance suddenly raised a bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth. The big knife in his hand was awe-inspiring. The next second he roared to chop at the stone wall. Chong! The big knife fell towards the corner, and the powerful crash sound rang out in an instant. Haw! The golden eagle roared. Yunwoo didn't hurt it. Instead, it hit its buttock feathers and cut off half of them as a deterrent warning. However, the golden eagle was furious and completely aroused the beast. Sharp claws, in the void on the cloud dance head-on attack. Yunwoo wants to meet you. But the golden eagle is extremely cunning. All of a sudden, the huge body of the golden eagle, with a sharp claw, is facing the back of the cloud. A touch of hot feeling came to my heart. Yunwoo felt pain like his back was torn open. It felt like a piece of meat was pulled alive. The back of the blood flow more than, soaked in purple clothes. Drop by drop on the stone floor, blooming like a flower. Cloud dance eyes sharp, coagulation and her face-to-face gold carving, eyes light chill deepening. Dragon Qing evil see this scene, pupil mouth suddenly a sink, a touch of anger in the depths of the eyes swing open. Move your body and come as fast as you can. When looking at the back of the cloud dancing blood flow, suddenly emerge a touch of cold in the fundus. You dare to hurt her? All right, give me the medicine first. Yunwoo takes out the medicine from the space and gives it to Long Qingxia to help her stop bleeding. But the line of sight has been looking at the gold carving, the interest in the eyes faded a little, gradually cold up. Animals, after all, are animals. However, the injury also gave her a wake-up call. When she feels that she is in control of victory and wants to play with the enemy, she ignores that the enemy is the enemy after all. Your contempt is to give your enemy a chance to fight back. Long Qingxia helps Yunwoo finish the medicine and looks at her back with some ferocious wounds. It's because he's too careless. It's because he thinks things go too smoothly. Ignore this is the 7th level breeding of wisdom of Warcraft. How can you not brain and her fight? This is its territory after all. It's familiar with the terrain. However, no matter who hurt her, he will pay the price. Dragon Qingxia's eyes suddenly cold, looking at the golden carving, mouth with a cold smile, step by step toward the golden carving. The golden eagle seemed to feel something, but his body trembled. It's mine. Cloud Dance looked at Long Qingxia's bloodthirsty indifference, suddenly reached out and grabbed his hand. I'm going to make it my mount, you can't hurt it. This golden carving, originally she just thought it was interesting, tame to play. But the crafty wisdom of this golden eagle, on the contrary, makes Yunwu want it to be a mount. Dragon Qing evil slightly a Zheng mount? The golden eagle has hurt her. Is she going to tame it? See Cloud Dance that resolute eye son, Long Qing evil also gradually, hide the bloodthirsty inside the eyes. If there's another time, I'll kill it. Good. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, happily agreed. Because there won't be another time. Looking at the retreating dragon, Yunwu looks back at the golden carving again. This time, the bloodthirsty corner of her mouth was stained with a strange smell, and the scarlet light in her eyes loomed. Animals are sensitive to breath. Looking at the Cloud Dance, the golden eagle suddenly felt a kind of uneasiness. He felt shivering all over, and there was a trace of fear in his sharp eyes. Don't be afraid, I won't kill you. Cloud Dance pulls the corner of mouth to it to smile slightly, smile medium cold on gloomy. Although the golden carving is afraid, it is a 7-level advanced warcraft, and pride naturally exists. You just handed in the contents of the cave things. Does it really guard the tornado in the cave? Cloud Dance a cold smile, eat into things and then let me spit out. Do you think it is possible? However, you just said hello to me. This time, I'll have a good time with you. At the end of the speech, you turn your hands, and when the fire element jumps up, you clasp your hands. The moment when the sound of a carving rises. Suddenly, a huge fire sculpture appeared in front of the cloud, almost like to burn the whole cave. The temperature in the air soars in an instant. Cloud Dance looked at the corner of the golden carving's mouth, and his eyes were cold. I made it according to your image. Try it and see which of you is more fierce. Is it the summoner? When the golden eagle felt the unique flash of the Cloud Dance, he was stunned. Then, there was a flash of panic in the beast's eyes. Staring at the fire-carving eyes, full of unquestionable. Cloud Dance, smell words, pick eyebrows. To deal with it, she didn't let her real contract beast come out. Can it also feel her identity as a summoner? However, Cloud Dance will not answer this question. I saw that the fire eagle in mid-air suddenly attacked, pierced the air, with the domineering and arrogance of fire, directly hit the golden eagle. The gold carving spouts a water column from its mouth, while the fire carving spouts magma flame from its mouth. When the two collide, the whole cave is shaking, and the fire light permeates most of the cave. Yunwu looks at the water column of the golden eagle, with a smile on the corner of his mouth and a brilliant light in his eyes. He is really a good guy. For a moment, the rubble rolled and the scene blurred. After a long time, the fire carving was scattered, and the golden eagle also lies on the ground, breathlessly watching the clouds. The hair on the buttocks has been burned, just the fire carving condensed with fire elements almost defeated it. How strong is this human girl? What do you want? The golden eagle no longer has the strength to fight. However, where does it know that this Cloud Dance skill has not really been revealed? The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to outline the radian, walked toward the gold carving, said with a smile, You say I contracted you? Gold carving Jing ran. The next second would rather die than surrender, like shaking his head. No way. It would never want to be a servant of the summoner for life. Why not? Can you stop me, I think? Cloud Dance sneers, and the corners of his mouth are cold. Summoners can force contracts. I won't promise. The eagle's sharp and angry voice suddenly rang out, and he wanted to get up again. Cloud Dance micro frown, a word away. You really say more frustrated, more brave. To put it bluntly, is not no good or bad. At this time, the 4 people who were led by the man in black came back. What's the situation? Shengguan looks at the bloodstain on Yunwu's back. His eyes are cold. He looks at the dragon with some puzzlement. Yunwu was injured like this. Did he just do it? Long Qingxie glanced at him and said lazily, I advise you not to move, or you will be beaten away. Shangguan's smell speech, just want to step forward. Suddenly Emil, the corner of the mouth fierce a twitch. Get hit and fly? And his words, at the same time, let Zhou Feiyu and Nangong Yi, who are closely behind, also stop. Bang! In an instant, the huge body of the golden eagle was kicked out with a fist. Straight up the waterfall, like a meteor. The cloud dances in the air and doesn't give the golden carving any chance to react. The rattan, like a whip, instantly rolls up the golden carving in the air. He swung his hand to the ground. Bang! There was another earthquake on the ground, and dust rose. Ha! The golden eagle let out a cry of pain. See, its smooth feather is wet, all stick on the body, look like a giant drowned chicken in general. Originally, the strong man was fierce, but now he looked very embarrassed. At this time, the cloud dance, looking at the gold carving on the ground, frowned, obviously had no patience. It's up to you whether you agree to the contract, but it's up to you not to agree to the mount. In order to tame it, you can't use hard force. It's hard to tame when the strength is light. Too much of her time has been wasted. In fact, the summoner can summon her own contract beast as a mount, but with the personality of Cloud Dance, she doesn't want to aggrieve her own contract beast. What's more, just like Bai Shuer, Xiao Chou can't be a mount. It's a 7-level gold carving. Nangong Yi looks at the golden carving, and his eyes are slightly surprised. You know, in mainland China, level 7 Warcraft has already given birth to wisdom, but it's not everywhere. Zhou Feiyu and others seem to be quite surprised, especially when they see that the 7th level Warcraft is so vulnerable in Yunwu's hands. However, when I heard that Yunwu wanted it to be her mount, I understood. If she doesn't need this flying beast, she won't bother to fight with it. It will be solved with one blow. Why me? The golden eagle looks at the cloud dance, and the beast's eyes are angry, but at the same time, he is not willing to follow the fear. I don't understand why she had to choose it. In fact, if Yunwu didn't take a fancy to it and hurt her, it would have been roasted chicken rather than drowned chicken. Cloud dance smell speech, but squint Mao Sun, fancy, this need reason? Immediately Yunwu added, follow or die, choose. The eyes of the golden carving beast are angry, and they don't agree to die. It's a 7th level Warcraft. Even if she is stronger than it, her master is not bad now. On the contrary, she takes it as a mount. It's definitely not something the golden eagle can do. Don't worry, little thing. It has promised you. I do not know when, the dragon went to her side, looking at the golden carving, mouth stained with a mysterious smile. Cloud dance slants to overdue, doubt to see an eye nearby man. In the eyes of the golden eagle, it was obvious that he didn't mean to yield. When do I? Golden beast eyes Canthus eyes, like angry want to refute. But the next second, its huge body seemed to be shocked and trembled. Almost a second later, I saw the birds and animals drooping down, bearing an angry voice, I promise. Cloud Dance can't help but frown at a Long Qing evil one eye. Looking at his mysterious smile, his eyes looked at him. What did he do to make this guy willingly agree? It's like her fight just now. Just for fun, Long Qingxia touched her eyes and took out a hairy thing from her arms. I think this little thing is very cute. I guess you must like it. I'll give it to you as a dowry. Smell speech, Cloud Dance not from one to white him one eye. However, when he saw the little guy in his hand, Yunwu suddenly drew his mouth. It was a little bigger than the palm, and its feathers were soft and fluffy, as if it had just jumped out of the egg, and it was a lovely little gold carving. The man is so dark that he even thought of taking the child to coerce him, but where did he get this little gold carving? Yunwu stares at Long Qingxia for a long time, but soon she doesn't think much about it. In any case, the results are impressive. I can't help but make her feel that sometimes it's better to be shameless. Cloud Dance took over the small golden eagle. The little guy also mischievously pecked her fingers. Yunwu did not do anything after she handed it back to the golden carving. In different way, since promised, follow me later, but you don't have what name? The return of the child made the golden eagle feel a little relaxed, but he replied in a more subdued tone, "No, I live here all the year round, and I don't need a name. After that, you will be called Jinling." Jinling? As soon as the huge body of the golden eagle shakes, she says, "Can it still oppose it? I don't need a mount yet. You're here for the time being, but I'll call you out if you need one." Yunmu stares at Jinling and asks, "Because it's not a contractual relationship, if she needs to use it later, she can't come back here." Jinling looked at Yunwu and said in silence for a moment, "You drop a drop of blood on my eyebrow. When you need me, just call my name will do." Since Jinling agreed, it will follow her in the future, waiting for her to call at any time. Warcraft has no human cunning, and will not do anything against it. However, it was originally after having children, just want to live a quiet life. Now it seems impossible. Just a drop of blood? Cloud Dance didn't hesitate. When the hand brushed, a drop of blood had fallen between the eyebrows of Jinling. The bloodstain was quickly absorbed by it. At that moment, Yunwu really felt that there was an invisible line between her and Jinling. Of course, it's not like the special contract between Hongling and her. Now that it's solved, Cloud Dance naturally doesn't need to spend time here. Cloud Dance raises Mao to see to Long Qing Xie, the corner of the mouth a yang. "Let's go." After a while. So the six left. When you get the things, you also get the mount. This trip is a great harvest. Beyond the cliff, you can see the Nirvana Cloud platform of the Three Kingdoms competition. At this time, many people have come to Nyantai, mostly to see the excitement. And the real game will start tomorrow morning. Nirvana Cloud Arena is an extremely open and majestic venue. The big arena can't see the edge at a glance, while a big challenge arena has been set up in the middle of the arena with seats all around. The seat is surrounded by iron railings, which should be to prevent ordinary people from breaking in. After all, on the day of the competition, it's unimaginable that there are too many people. They all rush into the competition field. It's estimated that there will be no competition. In the best view of the challenge arena, there are 3 dignified dragon chairs. There are several miniaturized dragon chairs on the left and right of the dragon chair. One row looks like 2 words, noble. These chairs should be for the emperors and princes of the 3 kingdoms, or powerful ministers. The 3 kingdoms competition in mainland China is the most anticipated event. It is said that on the day of the competition, the emperors, princes and important officials of the 3 kingdoms will all come to watch the battle, so it is also the arena that decides the future and destiny. As for how grand, it is estimated that we will see it tomorrow. Are you going to be here? Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil. The Mao light passes a touch of meditation and worry. Long Qing evil smell speech, pet drowning touch her hair. However, his deep eyes narrowed slightly, and the corners of his mouth outlined a bloodthirsty Moiran. Those who should come will always come, and when the opportunity comes, it's natural to do it. Cloud Dance slightly jaw ahead, agree with his words. But at the same time, there are also some worries. Hayo's words have never been forgotten in her heart. She and he have personally seen the strength of the national teacher of Long Shugua. However, in addition, there are forces behind this national master. Beast Gate, it is estimated that it will be beyond her imagination. During this period of time, she thought almost every day, how far has the influence of the Beast Gate spread? However, no matter what the situation, since he has decided, she will accompany him to the end. She tries to make herself stronger. Strong can protect him. Hard to train their own forces, thinking that one day, when he needs to be able to pierce the sky for him. Long Qingxia looks at Yunwu's worried eyes, with a smile on his lips. How could he not understand her? This little thing in his affairs always loses the ability to judge. Is her man the kind of person that women protect? Is he a man who is beyond his capacity? Still, he enjoyed it. At least she did not hide the care, let him feel very happy. However, Zhou Feiyu, who was standing not far behind, looked at the clouds, and the sharp edge in his eyes flashed faintly. After the competition, he needed to go back to the Zhou dynasty and take back everything that belonged to him. When it's all over, he'll let this woman come to him. His every tiny expression, but all by one side of the South Palace EC in the eye. I advise you to hold back so as not to cause unnecessary trouble. Nangong Yi stands beside Zhou Feiyu and looks up at the distance with a warning in his cool voice. Zhou Feiyu looked at him with a sneer. Is this a minister saying such a thing to his master? Is it possible to make a decision? Nangong Yi's indifferent eyes glanced at him, then turned and left. However, his cool and secluded voice came to Zhou Feiyu's ears again. I just want to protect her. If anyone is against her, or force her, I don't mind cutting it for her. I hope you're not one of them. That clean, indisputable figure, for the first time appeared a hazy cold. Zhou Feiyu looked at the figure with an awe-inspiring smile. Is he being threatened? Sarcastic sneer, silent in his mouth. There are more and more people in the competition, and it seems that all the participants have come. Cloud Dance can feel the competition field, and the spiritual power of the participants can be quite strong. It seems that it is not easy to win the Three Kingdoms Championship. However, the Three Kingdoms competition is not only a major event of the Three Kingdoms, but also a matter of honor for the Three Kingdoms. Naturally, all countries will choose the most top students to fight. This is not surprising at all. The participants of the other two colleges are chatting enthusiastically. They represent the honor of the college. Naturally, they can arouse a little bit of admiration. And the cloud dances that come to them are just like outfielders. Sitting in a humble corner, no one should have noticed them. However, anyone who passes within 10 meters of them can't help but take a look at them and are attracted by their strange breath. One seems to be sick and weak. A dark, weird place. One is awe-inspiring. One is smart and lazy. A man with white sand on his head will never be infected with the world. A mysterious man with a black veil on his head. 6 people, there is not a trace of similarity, but it makes people feel that there is a very different existence, and there is a sense of being out of place with the people present. Such 6 people, even if they want to keep a low profile, I'm afraid they can't keep a low profile. All of a sudden, a straight sword pierced the air, with strong power, extremely sharp stab to the cloud. At this time of cloud dance, playing with the hand, I do not know where to get a delicate wooden sword, in the sense of a sharp hit, eyes a cold. But he didn't even raise his head. He put the wooden sword in the position where the sword came. Shwa! With a touch of cold light and shadow stagnated, everyone's eyes seemed to be in a daze for a moment, even breathing stopped for a long time. It's going to kill before the game starts? Which college is that woman from? Why can't you even hide? Isn't this a death wish? Yunwoo looks at the wooden sword on her chest. The willow eyebrows wrinkle. It's a pity that a beautiful sword is destroyed then. Yunwoo and the sharp sword on the wooden sword were thrown away together. What a life! But for this wooden sword, she would have died. After seeing that Yunwoo was okay, everyone put down his heart. However, people were a little ignorant. Unexpectedly, a wooden sword could block a sharp sword. This is not just good luck. But look at the attitude and expression of the people present, it is ignored. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss you when I have a fight with my friend. The sword was thrown on the ground, clanging. At this time, a human figure came and stood in front of Yunwoo. Long Qingxie and other men look up and down at him and make sure there is no intention of killing him. Then take back the sun to continue to do their own thing. And Cloud Dance takes back to put on the sharp sword of Mori Cool Vision, restore consistent cool, slightly lift Mao, pull to pull the corner of the mouth, nothing. The man is in her lift Mao of a moment, tiny as Zheng. Ordinary appearance, seemingly sick and weak, this girl is sure to participate in the competition? Not to watch the game? However, the man immediately smiled jaw head, a palm, a suction, the sword will return to the hands. The wooden sword has been divided into 2 parts because of this unexpected episode. Yunwoo's several people suddenly became the focus of everyone. However, when seeing Cloud Dance's weak and morbid posture, there seems to be a trace of doubt in everyone's eyes. As long as the people who come to Nyantai are all students of the Three Kingdoms College, this woman is naturally one of them. It's just that the woman's breath is too weak, isn't it? Just now that unintentional sword hit, in addition to the sick woman did not respond even a few people around her, but also one did not respond. Didn't you find out? The power of counterattack without any vigilance? Which college do these individuals represent? What a waste. But at this time, in the crowd, I don't know who suddenly yelled. Oh, I know her. It's like the last time when the new students of Shenwang Samurai College enrolled students, the ninth lady of General Zhou Chaoyan's military mansion who openly went through the back door in the enrollment. What? Miss Yunfu 9? Isn't that a waste according to legend? How can I get into college? It's said that we're going through the back door. It's a big fortune in Yunfu. What's the difficulty in entering the college? It is. A group of people, you say a word, I say a word, the language is sharp, the tone is ironic, looking at the eyes of Cloud Dance is like looking at a mean thing in general. Then the one with black dosha beside her is not the legendary dragon's son, right? A voice of doubt once again attracted everyone's attention. If Miss Yun Jiajiu is a legend, the name of waste in the waist of Dragon Shitzi in the Zhou dynasty is not weak at all. See, that person doubts a voice together, many people coax again. Oh, isn't it said that Long Shitzi has been disfigured and covered with black gauze all day long? That's for sure. It's said that Miss Nine and Long Shitzi have been paired by the decree. At this moment, it's a perfect match, ha ha ha. The crowd burst into laughter again. It was an undisguised irony and ridicule. Everyone looked at the Cloud Dance and Dragon poor evil, can't smile. It's like watching a joke of satisfying yourself with the pain of others. When Zhou Feiyu heard these words, he looked at those who were most critical. His eyes were dark, and a sense of killing appeared in his eyes. Yunwu listened to their sarcastic smile, a frosty smile passed in her eyes, and a harmless and bloodthirsty smile was outlined in the corner of her mouth, but it was gone in a twinkling of an eye, and she didn't seem to care about these boring things. And Long Qingxia didn't seem to care what they said. People are angry because they take some things too seriously. Sometimes, once they take some things seriously, they will lose. He never mind people saying he's rubbish, because those people self-righteous will pay the price. Xiao Lingrui, the man just now, frowned and looked at Yunwu with his eyes. Is she really Miss Nine in Yunfu? And the man in black gauze beside her is the ugly dragon's son? Her fiancé? Cloud Dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, who is still standing in the same place. He frowns slightly and says, "Is there anything else?" Xiao Lingrui took back her gaze and said politely, "Are you a participant? Dragon Sky or God King actually, isn't that a stupid question? It is said that she is the 9th miss of the Cloud family in the Zhou dynasty. In addition to the Shenwang Warrior Academy in the Zhou dynasty, can this be Long Kong?" Cloud Dance, a trace of impatience. However, without waiting for her to speak, Long Qingxia took the lead. "Can you get out of the way? It's blocking my sunshine." Xiao Lingrui's face suddenly changed. He didn't know whether he was embarrassed or angry. Then he bowed his head slightly and said, "I'm sorry." Then he turned and left. Cloud Dance raised Mao to give him a look of appreciation. "This performance is good, enough poisonous tongue. Dragon Qing evil a face doesn't matter of spread a hand, evil spirit a smile way, I just say the fact. Cloud Dance white he one eye, say you fat still pant. Dragon Qing evil mouth a yang, put the head on her shoulder, circle her willow waist, closed eyes to rest." Cloud Dance glanced at him, his eyes flashed a smile and sighed helplessly. After leaving, Xiao Lingrui returns to his position, but his eyes are always watching Yunwu. What's good about a piece of trash? Qing Feng, who competes with Xiao Lingrui, glances at Yunwu, as if he is afraid of tarnishing his eyes. He quickly takes his eyes back. Xiao Lingrui shakes his head. He always remembers Yunwu's cold and indifferent eyes. He always feels that something is wrong. Can represent the college to participate in the students, how can be waste? But her weak breath after about an hour or so, the participants of the college had almost come, waiting for the arrival of the emperors of the 3 kingdoms. As usual, in this arena competition, the judges were also the emperors of the 3 kingdoms. The students of Long Kong and Huangshu College are all scrambling to sit close to the emperor. Even if they can't participate in the challenge, they can at least show their faces. Only a few of them, still sitting in a corner, like a nap in general. Just then, there was a sudden commotion in the crowd. A big wave of students seemed to be surging. Suddenly, the whole field was roaring. The king of Zhou came. With the sound of a notice, Lu Mei frowned and looked into the crowd. I saw, under the protection of the bodyguard, a tall and noble figure came slowly in the crowd, his face with a smile, a pair of half-narrowed eyes are very cold. Isn't that Zhou Badian? Seeing Zhou Badian, Yunwu looks down slightly and unconsciously glances at Zhou Feiyu. At this time, Zhou Feiyu also looked at Zhou Badian, a pair of indifferent appearance, sharp eyes in the complex, cannot say what is the feeling. When Long Qingxie heard the emperor of Zhou dynasty, he also glanced up at Zhou Badian and gently raised the corner of his mouth to show a meaningless smile. Cloud Dance looks at that weak overlord sky, the eyes ponder. The Shenhuang Samurai Academy represents the Zhou dynasty. If they win the competition, Zhou Feiyu can be regarded as another great achievement. Now Long Qingxie is also regarded as the son of the Zhou dynasty. She is Miss Yun Jiajiao, and Nangong Yi is the son of the national teacher. In this way, except for Liu Bai, what they are doing now seems to be very meaningful, and they are fighting for face for the Zhou dynasty. Thinking, the cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up a sneer of sarcasm. Zhou Badian sat in the middle seat and nodded to the students who were in some emotional mood. However, he had the dignity that a king should have. 3 kingdoms competition, the 3 emperors will attend, and the students can see the country's leader side. Cloud Dance looked at his face that wiped to deal with smile, the corner of the mouth sneer more deeply. However, after Zhou Badian sat down for a while, his sharp eyes swept down the stage. It seems that they are looking for someone. When he saw the position of Yunwu, the undercurrent in his eyes twinkled. It is estimated that he has also heard about the news of Yunwu and others sent by the Shenhuang Samurai Academy. As for other news, it is not known whether he has heard it. Because Zhou Badian, after glancing at Yunwu and others, took back his sight, as if he didn't pay much attention. Here comes the emperor of the kingdom of En. At this time, with a pass, the king of Ensidujin also came. Cloud Dance lifted her eyes, looked at the figure coming in the distance, and slightly narrowed her eyes. She doesn't know much about the kingdom of En, but she is not weaker than any other country if she can be listed as one of the 3 great powers along with the Zhou dynasty and the state of Longshu. Compared with the Zhou dynasty and the state of Longshu, the kingdom of En is somewhat mysterious. A tall and handsome figure swept into the eyes of Cloud Dance. Looking at Sidujin wearing a silver dragon robe, Cloud Dance's eyes passed a little surprised. I thought that the emperors should put themselves at the highest level of dignity. But I didn't expect that the emperor of the kingdom of En was dressed in such a common way that he didn't look like a king, but he was natural and handsome. Suddenly, when Yunwu glanced at the shadow of Situ Jin's body, he could not help but eyebrow. Isn't that man Situ Lan? At this time, Situ Lan's eyes are also looking at them intentionally or unintentionally, and the corners of his mouth are still smiling. Cloud Dance micro-frown, eyes a low, mouth outline. It's true that like father, like son. The 2 of you are carved in the same mold. Does he look good for his husband? Suddenly, Long Qingxie's voice with low magnetism came from her ears. Cloud Dance Mao Guang Mi, the eye ground flashed a pure light, the light smile greets his Mao Sun Wei. If I say he is more beautiful than you, then what will you do? Kill him. Dragon Qing Evil Mao Sun Mi, a silk chilly idea attacks on, answer away without hesitation. Cloud Dance is a smile. Smile is extremely mysterious cold. Are you willing to? For a while. Dragon Qing Xieshen Mao a smile, pet drown of point to her forehead, you this small thing. He knew that with the intelligence of this little woman, she would see something. Cloud Dance looks away. The corner of the mouth is lightly picking a light smile. In fact, she found that this man is like a riddle that can never be solved. Whenever she finds out one of his secrets, there will always be another one. It seems that there is no way to solve it. Just like him now, she knows this secret. Maybe he has another secret she likes the feeling. like his mystery, like this mysterious man, layer by layer peeling off the feeling. Perhaps, when one day he has no secret, it means that they can live an ordinary life without being so tired. The Emperor of Longshu is here. With a pass, Cloud Dance and other 6 people's eyes, all looked at the figure that came in. Including Liu Bai, who has been quiet all the time, is also looking at the Emperor of Longziguo with his eyes. Cloud Dance looked at the so-called Emperor of Longshu Kingdom, and a little doubt appeared in his cold eyes. People who can be emperors should be very ambitious, wise, and shrewd. But how did she see from the eyes of the Emperor Longshu that she was confused and had no focal length, just like a puppet without soul? However, when Yunwu saw the figure in a black robe supporting the Emperor of Longshu Kingdom, Long Yaozi, his heart suddenly understood. That person is not who is the national teacher of Longshugua. Ignite Ice. Yunwu looks at Mo Yebing and finds that he is not humble around Long Yaozi. On the contrary, he has the illusion that he is the leading role. This is definitely not the attitude of a monarch or a minister. However, this makes Cloud Dance more certain. I'm afraid the Emperor of Longshu Kingdom is under control. I'm afraid that the complicated situation of Longshugua is not as simple as what others see. Is this the reason why Long Qingxie has been waiting for an opportunity to return to China? Cloud Dance turns her head and looks at the dragon nearby. I found that his eyes were bright at the moment, and his eyes were always calm and evil. However, in the eyes of Cloud Dance, Long Qingxie has returned to his usual attitude. Raised the corner of the mouth, evil spirit of looking at her. How to look at so for husband? Have you been called the marshal? Cloud Dance slightly jaw head. Mao Guang contains a touch of light warm smile, really handsome. She was impressed by all his elaborate plans, and was distressed by his forbearance, but excited that he was about to fight back. The man who has experienced the baptism of suffering and forbearance is really handsome. Dragon Qing Evil Eye's deep smile glanced at the ink night ice. The corner of the mouth raised a touch of cold edge. This woman understand him. That's enough to give him a lot of confidence. The representatives of the 3 countries have come, and the distribution in the early stage of the competition begins. For a moment, the whole venue was quiet. The 3 Kingdoms competition is a good match the day before the team, the second day direct PK, which also saves a lot of time on the second day. An old man with white hair took the Holy Scroll to the challenge arena. He was the master of the Nirvana Cloud Arena, Fengqi. Next, let's invite the participants of the 3 Kingdoms competition to come on stage. The contestants of Huangshu and Long Kong immediately got up and went to the challenge arena with their heads held high. The strength of those who can enter the 3 Kingdoms arena in the college cannot be underestimated. Most of the people present looked at them with admiration and admiration. The contestants of Huangshu and Long Kong have been on the stage. Everyone looks very powerful. Fengqi waited for a while, but he didn't see the people from the Samurai Academy on the stage, a pair of white eyebrows to pick. Then he cleared his throat and said, "The contestants of the Samurai Academy come on stage." There was a dead silence in the ring. People began to talk about it. Isn't the man from the Samurai Academy here? Can't you be scared to come? It seems that the King of God is just like that. It's getting worse and worse. They've lost to us for 3 years in a row. I'm afraid. In the public's satire disdain, Zhou Beishan's face on that seat was not very good-looking. However, it is at this moment. Cloud Dance in the corner of the humble, slowly stood up, eyes calm without wave. It seems that their comments have nothing to do with her. Then Long Qingxie, Zhou Feiyu, Nangong Yi, Shangguan and Liu Bai all stood up. 6 in all. Contestants of the King of God's Samurai Academy. People looked at the 6 people who stood up and were stunned for a moment. A moment later, am I right? It's them? 2 trash, 2 monsters, 2 normal people, perfect match. Another ridicule, no room, naked ridicule. However, Su Tian and Su He, who were standing on the challenge arena, were shocked when they saw the Cloud Dance. Is it them? They just arrived soon, naturally did not hear the first round of ridicule. However, no one present knows the strength of Cloud Dance better than them. I'm afraid I can't forget the scene that Yunwoo beat him to fly. They used to belong to the Samurai Academy. This Cloud Dance mouth with a sneer, listening to the irony, mouth slightly a hook, a dark light in the eyes. She would slap these taunts on their mouths and tell them that even if the dog can't spit out ivory, it shouldn't look down on people. Are you 6 contestants from the Samurai Academy? The Win 7 Old White Eyebrow 1 Yang, some query of want to confirm. Cloud Dance lifted Mao indifferently to sweep Wind 7 Old 1 Eye, icy cold way, yes. Wind 7 Old listen to students you a word IA language, sharp eyes have God has been exploring looking at the cloud. But in the heart is murmuring, this wench is really others say of so bad? Although this wench surface looks like a sick chi deficiency, but the 5 old guys of the God King can grow up in the sky. Although they have lost for several years in a row, the strength of the people selected to compete in each year is not bad. How did you get such a little girl to take the lead this time? Is this girl hiding her strength on purpose? Old Fengqi missed it from the bottom of his heart. His mental strength came out and he wanted to feel the strength of Yunwoo, but after he tried, his face darkened. Empty nothingness. He can't see the strength of this girl? Is this girl hiding her strength? Or is it really rubbish? For a moment, Fengqi couldn't see through it. It was the first time in his life. Fengqi frowned and thought to himself. However, my heart is inexplicable to Cloud Dance look forward to it. It's in bursts of ridicule and ridicule. Cloud Dance eyes indifferently went to the challenge arena, followed by the 5 men like followers, posture, momentum, feel all have. Because it was in the corner of the crowd was standing and their sight was slightly blocked. The emperors of the 3 kingdoms only heard what people said, but they didn't see anyone. I know. When Yunwoo and others stepped on the challenge arena and saw their appearance clearly, Zhou Batian and Mo Yebing's eyes suddenly changed. Ink night ice cold eyes, suddenly dark looking at the clouds. Is that her? Although, at this time Cloud Dance 9 young ladies' appearance with the original appearance has the profound difference, but, on the body that breath actually how also can't change. He had absorbed the strength of her, but he couldn't forget that breath. After looking for her for so long, she escaped every time, but this time she sent her to the door. Just, when his eyes of Sin Bing touched another white willow, Sin Han in his eyes suddenly narrowed up, and a deep invisible meditation swept by. Why is he here? When Zhou Batian saw the Cloud Dance, his sharp eyes flashed a trace of depth. The waste of the past can fight on behalf of the Samurai Academy today. This period is only a few months. During this period he heard some news about how Yunwoo was promoted to the inner college. Although the college deliberately conceals, the information is not very clear. But, this wench, what strength has concealed necessarily? The Cloud family has never told him however, when Zhou Batian swept to Zhou Feiyu, a touch of complex color passed in his sharp eyes. Of his many sons, perhaps this one is the best. However, being too good is sometimes a crime, especially in front of the imperial power. But how did he get to the college? On behalf of the Samurai Academy? And finally, his eyes swept that dragon to pour evil. For Long Qingxie his eyes are dark. He is a waste exchange son. Does this waste appear here to discredit him? Zhou Bei was very angry at the bottom of his eyes. However, seeing the smiling appearance of Situ Jin, the king of and around him, he forced his face not to be gloomy. This touch of questioning inquiry, sarcasm and ridicule, Cloud Dance all look in the eyes, feel in the heart, including Zhou Beishan's angry eyes. At the corner of his mouth, he suddenly outlined a strange arc. She will make Zhou Batian like a pug, respectful and smiling to her. She will make all the people in mainland China think she is a waste and shut up. She will let those who dislike her continue to dislike her. She likes the way that she dislikes her and can't get rid of her. Everyone be quiet. I'll announce the match. Win 7 Old looking at the noisy crowd, white eyebrow a horizontal, a touch of cold voice shocked the whole stadium. Cloud Dance eyes looking at Win 7 Old eyebrow peak to pick for a while, Marshall Saint medium term strength. Pretty good. Because it's an academic competition of the 3 kingdoms, The competition will be carried out according to the rules set in previous years, leaving behind the traditional way of promoting popularity. Last time, the winner was Huangshu College, so in the first game of this year, Huangshu College will fight against Longkong College first. The winner will continue to challenge Shenwang College, until the winner will be judged as the winner and become the champion of the Three Kingdoms competition. However, just as the old saying of Fengqi came down, a sudden voice rang out. I have a condition to add. Qing Feng, who just competed with Xiaoling Rui, glanced at the cloud dance, hummed coldly, and turned to look at Xiangfeng Qilao. Wind 7 old white eyebrow a coagulation, some sullen, long beard floated up, add what condition? For the first time? There is no conditional rule. Qing Feng's eyes flashed a touch of annoyance, but soon covered up, but glanced at the cloud and sneered. My condition is very simple. If we Huangshu College win, I want them to bow to us on behalf of Shenwang College. I believe this condition is very simple for them. Wind 7 old listened to words, face suddenly a change. The vicissitudes of life, chilly eyes looking at Qing Feng, slightly with a warning, young man, do things to stay 3 points, this truth also need the old man to teach you? However, Qing Feng didn't think so. If you don't dare to accept this kind of simple condition, then the people of Shenwang Samurai Academy are really scum. Provocation? In other words, is it a slap in the face of the king of Zhou or a stumbling block in front of the king of Zhou? Then if you lose, bow. It's a shame. If you don't answer, you will be humiliated in public. No matter which one, for Zhou Batian, his face will not look good. Originally, Yunwu would not care about the face of Zhou dynasty or even Zhou Batian. However, in the face of this provocation, it has also aroused considerable interest in cloud dance. I accept your terms on behalf of the Samurai Academy, but we also have one. Cloud dance glances at Qing Feng one eye, Mao Guang center Mang delimits. The corner of the mouth micro-evokes a touch of creepy smile. This is the reason why Qing Feng attaches conditions. He just can't stand a waste and has such a cool and arrogant attitude. However, he has all kinds of martial arts skills, but he has no brain to think about. Don't you think it's not strange that 5 men are willing to follow if Yunwu is really a waste? Wind 7 old a listen to cloud dance to challenge, eyebrow tiny a see you. I don't know why, there is always a bad feeling in my heart. I agree to your terms as long as you agree to mine. Qing Feng sneers and glances at the cloud with disdain. Xiaoling Rui wants to reach out to stop Qing Feng from talking big, but it's too late. He can only sigh and take back his hand, which is still in midair. And Su Tian and Su He looked at each other, and looked at the maple with a smile. As if watching a clown in general. I really don't know what to do. If someone doesn't challenge me, I will challenge that girl. It's obvious that you're going to die. I agree with your condition, but my condition is that if the Shenwang Samurai Academy wins the championship, the Huangshu Samurai Academy will be dissolved and completely disappear in the mainland of China. Such as the sharp edge of the tone, bloodthirsty smile slightly young. That double star eye is suffused with a touch of dark red light, just like the posture of Hel Rosha, looking at the stunned Qing Feng. Dissolution? She said, to dissolve the Huangshu Warrior Academy? Qing Feng thought he heard wrong. Until he looked at her that pair of inexplicable strange eyes, he was sure that he did not hear wrong. All the people in the challenge arena were shocked to see the cloud dance. I can't seem to believe it. It's a waste word. Zhou Batian looked at the cloud dance, and his thick eyebrows coagulated slightly. There seems to be some doubts. She has such a big voice. Is she really strong? But Sidu Jin didn't get angry when he heard this sentence. On the contrary, he laughed with a sense of mystery that belonged to the emperor. Sit beside him natural and unrestrained. C2 Lan hears his words, stare big eyes, can't believe of curl a mouth, then just like a smile, dignified sigh tone. It seems that Huangshu College can't keep it. Then he moved his eyes to Long Qingxia. His eyes were quiet and his heart was reading. Your woman took my baby, let my golden eagle betray me, and swallowed me a college. How to calculate this account? You have the ability to stop it yourself. That's your woman. That's why you let yourself stop it. Situ Lan's eyes stare at Long Qingxie, and the corners of his mouth twitch fiercely. When he has a daughter-in-law, he forgets his brother's guy. Looking up at Yunwu's strong posture, Fengqi frowned. Girl, is this? Let's agree to this additional condition. What if a blind cat bumps into a dead mouse? Cloud Dance glances at the Wind 7 Old One Eye. The corner of the mouth is hanging a shallow smile, but the cold light in the eyes is a flash. Wind 7 Old One Ling. Yes, he was right. He saw the murderous chill in the girl's eyes. Is she threatening him? However, the Wind 7 Old, but soon the corner of the mouth smoked. Because the Wind 7 Mr. feels his martial saint's strength, always does not take the strength in front of her. This wench's strength should not really be above him? If that's the case, the Three Kingdoms game will be, well, the conditions will take effect and the game will start tomorrow. Fengqi felt his forehead helplessly, and 3 black lines appeared on his forehead. See, that Wind 7 Old a promise, the ground of ridicule suddenly again hit. Beyond our capacity, we still clamor with our Huangshu Samurai Academy. It's a dream to have a chance for a blind cat to meet a dead mouse. A large group of students from Huangshu Samurai Academy began to mock Yunwu and spit out Xingzi, hoping to drown her. Cloud Dance, eyes calm, ignore everyone's eyes, turned and walked off the stage. Long Qingxie followed closely. Although he did not speak, but the eye of Mo Yebing did not look at him less, as if want to see something from him. And that Mo Yi Ice wants to see what come, Long Qing evil nature is very clear. Unfortunately, as long as he does not want to reveal, no one can see anything from him. But soon. And the moment Lu Bai stepped down from the stage, he glanced at the dark eyes, looked at the ice in the dark night, and the bottom of his eyes swept a touch of deep. Then he left. When they left, Mo Yebing also helped Long Yaozi to leave. Dragon Qing Evil secretly glanced at the figure they left, eyes deep as the abyss. It was not until their figure came out of sight that he withdrew his eyes and walked with them. His body was filled with a trace of indifference, bloodthirsty and cold. Yunwu can naturally feel his breath, or the fluctuation of his heart at the moment. But she didn't break it or comfort him. What she can do is to do everything to help him recapture everything that belongs to him and let everything return to the track that belongs to him. The mountain wing room behind Nyantai. The night is charming, the cold moonlight is wiping the earth, quiet and quiet. The 3 powers gather together, and the 3 kingdoms competition is on the verge. It seems that it will be an uneasy night. Under the starry moonlight, a touch of dark shadow swept by, in addition to the wind speed microdrama, did not leave a trace of abnormality. How did you go to the Samurai Academy? I haven't heard of you before. A touch of cold sound without a trace of temperature broke the quiet night, and the temperature around also dropped abruptly. Follow that woman. Mo Bai looked at Mo Yebing, and his lonely eyes couldn't say what was flashing. What did you find? The night of ink is frozen and white, and the air around is cold for a moment. I find the abnormality in his eyes. Not yet. Mo Bai didn't see Mo Yebing, but lowered his head. Mo Yi gave him a cold glance. Didn't you find out? Is this possible? But Mo Yebing didn't ask any more. After a cold glance at Mo Bai, his figure suddenly disappeared in front of him, and the ice-like bone gradually disappeared. Under the dark night, a slight sigh slowly exhaled. He knew he couldn't cheat him with anything. On the other side, Long Qingxie and Situlan are having a long talk. The moon is fading and the lake is shining. If you want to take back what belongs to you, you must get rid of him first. Situlan's eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of cold swept through his eyes. Long Qingxie nodded undeniably, and the evil spirit's eyes raised a casual smile. It's not easy to get rid of him, and I can't wait, but... But what? Situlan glanced at him and asked. Wouldn't it be better for him to take me back himself? Dragon Qing evil pick eyebrow. The corner of the mouth swept a cold radiance. It's not so easy to get rid of Moibing. The last time he joined hands with Yunwu, he was so embarrassed that he almost lost her. This time, although he and Yunwu's strength have improved a lot, they are not sure to kill the Moibing. What's more, there is a mysterious beast gate behind him. If there is another way, he would rather choose one that can reduce the risk. Whether it's for her or for myself. Plan and act. When Situ Lan heard this, he frowned. When he sent you away from Long Shugua, how could he personally take you back? Or do you already have a way? Dragon Qing Evil does not answer, just outlined the corner of the mouth, died with that strange smile. Tomorrow. Let's start tomorrow and get back on track. However, at this time, a touch of the evening breeze, a touch of bloody taste, invaded the tip of their nose. Long Qingxia Situ Lan's eyes sank and looked at each other. Two white figure instant sweep out, toward that white blood to seek. In the quiet night, they were like shuttle figures, rolling leaves, cutting through the cold wind, and instantly disappeared in sight. When the dragon approached the blood behind the tree, there was a trace of meditation in his eyes. There was only one bloodstain on the tree trunk. From the bloodstain, we could see that it was obviously blocked by a sword, but there was no body. And the corner of Long Qingxia's eye suddenly noticed that there was a finger in the corner under the tree trunk, as if it had been torn down by something. Then he raised a curve in the corner of his mouth. This little thing. It always makes him so upset. Situ Lan swept around his eyes, and naturally found the broken finger in the corner. Just then, the patrol in the wing room appeared from the corner. Who are you? With a drink, a patrol guard came forward. Long Qingxia with Black Dosha and Situ Lan without any panic stood in the same place and looked at the patrol guard. When the patrolman saw the dragon of Black Dosha, he immediately saw that he was the son of the Waste Dragon who represented the king of God Warrior Academy. On the other hand, it's very eye-catching. But this is the student's wing room. He's with Long Zhen. Maybe he's also a student of Shenwang College. It turned out that he was one of the representative students of the Samurai Academy, Long Shitzi. What are you doing here so late? But at this time, the patrol guard suddenly swept to the tree trunk into a radial blood stain. What's the matter with the blood? The patrol guard looked at Long Qingxia and Situ Lan, and his eyes were alert. Is it abnormal to have a little blood? Long Qingxia glanced at the patrol guard and slightly raised his eyebrows. Blood is normal, this is not normal. The guard picked up half a finger on the ground and gave a cold hum. Isn't that normal? How can I look at your finger as if it's one more? Dragon Qing Evil Black Dosha under the canthus overflow a blood-sucking light, even across the Black Dosha. It seems that people can feel that pair of eyes looking at the creepy weird. He is not waste. However, at this time, the momentum is absolutely not what waste should have. What's going on? There was a flash of fear in the guard's eyes. Looking at the dragon, his fingers trembled slightly, and half of them fell to the ground. I don't see anything. Dragon Qing Evil mouth slightly a young. In this very period, smart people will choose this answer. The bodyguard nodded in a daze, and the rigid figure quickly disappeared in front of them like an arrow. Your woman seems to have caused trouble for you again. Situ Lan smiles warmly, and his eyes pass by a trace of helplessness. I'll go first. Without waiting for Situ Lan to say anything, the white figure of Long Qingxia has disappeared like a meteor. Situ Lan half narrowed his eyes and thought about something. He left after a long time. The fifth. Under the moonlight and stars, Yunwu looks at the black-robed corpse lying under him, with a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth. Blood from the chest of the black-robed man flows out, reflected in the moonlight, reflected into the eyes of Cloud Dance, making the bloodthirsty eyes more chilly. Who sent it? Behind him, a low magnetic voice rang. Cloud Dance looked back at the dragon Qing Xie, slightly shook his head. The mouth is very hard, can't force out. Today, after Long Qingxia left, she just wanted to have a rest, but she found someone lurking on her roof and killed her all the way. Originally, I wanted to keep 2 people alive and continue to press questions. But I didn't expect that in the end, all 5 were killed. Dragon Qing Evil mouth slightly a young, seems to have some helplessness. Kill to kill, Ink Night Ice all appeared, other people are not important. Cloud Dance tiny jaw head, she just some strange, if these people are not Moyi I sent, that is who sent? Is it difficult for them to be surrounded by people of the Beast Gate all the time? Is it, as the rising sun rises to the east, The dense sun adds a layer of hazy beauty to Nirvana. Today is the beginning day of the Three Kingdoms competition. The surrounding of the challenge arena is difficult for the onlookers. And all the people in the challenge arena are here. The emperors, princes and ministers of the Three Kingdoms, as well as the contestants, are in place. Old Fengqi swept around and found that all the contestants had arrived, and the white eyebrows raised. I declare, the game begins. The first match, Dragon Sky Warrior Academy versus Huangshu Warrior Academy. As the old saying of Fengqi falls, the players of the two colleges go to the challenge arena together. As soon as the two schools came on stage, there was a boiling roaring sound under the challenge arena, which was even more happy than when they came on stage. Yunwu is a little curious. Why do other colleges have students to cheer on, while their college has only 6 of them? Are you afraid of losing face? Or are you afraid of winning face? However, it is estimated that the old man of NEI College feels that he has lost 3 times in a row and has no face to be cheered by others. Of course, this is the Cloud Dance psychological guess. As for whether or not, she is not very interested. Cloud Dance lazily glanced at the challenge arena, then slightly dropped his eyes hazy appeared a touch of sleep. I was tossed by those black-robed people in the middle of the night last night and didn't sleep much. Today, I can make up for my missing sleep. This game has been regardless of her business, she is not in the mood to watch the results. 1 second before the battle, Su Tiansu he also looked back at Yunwu, hoping to see Yunwu's interested eyes or excited look. As a result, they almost lost their chin. Yunwu is sleeping there. And the dragon around her seems to have no interest, half squinting lazily, and seems to be bathing in the sun. People look at the fierce competition on the stage, and then look at the humble corner. Lazy 6 people are doing their own things, completely irrelevant. I can't help but see a black line on my forehead. Are they here to play? Why don't you look nervous? Is it because there is no chance of winning at all, so it just doesn't matter? Then it's a competition. Yunwu naturally doesn't care what they think, a lazy sleepy nap. Although it's a competition between 2 colleges. But after all, they are all top-notch in the college. It's not so easy to decide the outcome. The game started in the morning and didn't end until noon. With the announcement of Fengillo, Huangshu Samurai Academy won. Cloud Dance just lifted to lift eyelid, looking at the stage happy Qing Feng, the corner of the mouth pulls out a touch of radiance. Thanks to this speed he was as happy as a pie. There were cheers and sighs among the students present, forming 2 extreme states. On the one hand, he seemed to face the sky and roar wildly. On the other hand, he looked dim and had no choice but to shake his head. Huangshu College won again. Because just after the game, the court had a short rest. After half a ring, in the next match, Huangshu Warrior Academy will compete with Zhanshan Wang Warrior Academy in a single-player competition. Huangshu Warrior Academy will be the first to draw lots. Under the glare of the crowd, Shaoling Rui went to the stage to draw lots and gave it to Feng Qilao. Feng Qi opened the note and saw that his face changed slightly. Then he cleared his throat and said, Shaoling Rui is dancing with the clouds. Not only Shaoling Rui, but also everyone was in a moment of consternation. But then there was a burst of sarcastic comments. Shaoling Rui was one of the top 3 experts in Huangshu College. He was a waste. Is it too easy and boring to win? I hope Shaoling Rui can solve the problem with 1 blow, so as not to waste too much time. Yunwu stands up in everyone's sarcastic smile, takes a cold glance at the crowd, and then closes her eyes and walks to the stage. Be careful or your husband's heart won't stand it. As she left, the sound of Dragon's evil spirit rang from behind her. Cloud Dance, a little step. Then he went to the challenge arena without looking back. Shaoling Rui looked at the Cloud Dance in front of him, but was slightly shocked by the coldness of her body, especially the bloodthirsty cold smile on her lips, which made him feel a little untouchable. He never felt that way. What's going on? Clearly her face is morbid, weak, the whole image of a waste. However, why does her breath? The game begins. With the wind 7-old a drink, Shaoling Rui can only quickly adjust their own state of mind. Maybe he's oversensitive. Shaolin Rui. Cloud dance. Two people are slightly jaw ahead, introduce each other, then each step back, the game is ready to start. Cloud dance glances at Shaolin Rui, the talent of blue rank, the peak of great martial arts master. This strength is already the top master in the mainland of China. It seems that there are a lot of talents in Huangshu Warrior Academy. And Shaolin Rui has been inquiring about cloud dance. What surprised him again was that he felt strange just now, but when he looked at it carefully, there was no fluctuation. It was like a black hole with no bottom. He can't see through her strength? The people in the challenge arena will not understand his surprise. They are all watching a good play and urging him to finish the fight. Shaolin Rui could not help wrinkling his forehead. Are the students of Samurai Academy so brainless? Just he didn't know, cloud dance from the beginning in order to avoid the limelight, deliberately hide their own spiritual breath, he just can't feel her strength. But the people under the stage can't even feel her spiritual power. Suddenly, the atmosphere on the challenge arena was abnormal. Shaolin Rui wind element looms, intends to test the strength of cloud dance with a blow. In a flash, the wind properties such as the yellow torrent of water surged, the whole air filled with green undercurrent, the wind whirled in the air, like a sharp blade sweeping. Cloud dance raised a bloody smile at the corner of his mouth, and the excitement in his eyes was slightly hooked up. Just when the wind came, the clouds were shining with green light. It was as fast as a shuttle, but everyone saw it. Just in a moment, the wind attribute disappeared. What did she do? The audience looked at the cloud dance, and their eyes were surprised. But still others think it's just a fluke and a coincidence. Dragon Qingxia's mouth is dyed with a smile. He looks at the cloud dance on the challenge arena and gives a deep smile. His woman is now blooming like a star. And the other four people also completely did not have the hazy sleepiness just now, are staring at the stage for a moment, corners of the mouth with a light smile. Wind 7 old vicissitudes of the mouse on a hook, looking at cloud dance, tiny a consternation. That wench but didn't even move to dissolve so strong wind attribute? How is that possible? Is it true that this girl's strength has surpassed him? Feng Qi's face changed slightly, but he couldn't hide his excitement. Shaolin Rui's beautiful phoenix eyes were dancing in the clouds. The corners of his mouth moved unconsciously, but he was deeply surprised in his eyes. You! He felt the bloodthirsty light around the cloud dance, and he wanted to stop talking. No matter whether her strength is hidden or real waste. This competition is about the glory of Huangshu College. He can't lose it. It seems that we need to fight as hard as we can. Suddenly, he drew out his sword, coagulated the wind attribute, his figure trembled, and instantly danced towards the clouds. It's too fast to capture. In an instant, I saw a long sword, straight into Yunwu's chest. The crowd screamed and cheered for Shaolin Rui's perfect blow. But only Shaolin Rui's body trembled, and his eyes were startled, which made him look unbelievable. No stab. How possible? Then, the smile on everyone's lips gradually froze. Ha ha, it's not the daughter of my great general. Her strength is really new. Zhou Baishan's determined face was already sulky. When he saw Yunwu dodging the attack, he was immediately overjoyed. However, the fundus of those eyes was extremely deep. The Cloud family actually concealed the strength of cloud dance from him. But Sidu Jin just looked at Yunwu with a smile, as if everything had been in his expectation. The crowd looked at the figure gradually disappearing and thought they were wrong. How could it be just a shadow? How could she escape that speed? Just when the people were stiff and surprised. Roar! Red flames suddenly burned half of the sky. A giant fire dragon circled in the air, roared. Shaolin Rui instantly felt a strong burning feeling behind him. He suddenly turned back, but saw a burning dragon rushing towards him. He didn't have time to think about it. Figure a sharp shake, jump in mid-air, quickly aroused fighting, instant, water properties condensed out. A water dragon exudes a clear light, green light quickly died in the air, to meet the fire dragon dancing in the clouds. Just for a while, the fire dragon will completely burn the water dragon, the flame in the air, the fire dragon posture arrogant. Xiao Lingrui didn't have time to be surprised. The vines around him surrounded him in an instant. Bang! Ugh! With a scream, the fire dragon disappeared in the air, and the residual flames seemed to feel the burning feeling. People look at this scene, eyes suddenly stare big. Quiet, still dead quiet. Everyone was shocked to forget to breathe, surprised, leaving only unacceptable. How is that possible? Xiao Lingrui covered his arm in pain, fell on the ground, and his forehead was dripping with sweat. The clothes on that arm had been burned a hole by the fire dragon, and the flesh and blood in the hole had been burnt, and the smell of burning immediately permeated the whole challenge arena. Is that the real flame? When a warrior's strength reaches a certain level, he can condense his attributes. However, it is only the result of the virtual strength. However, this girl's fire dragon is actually transformed by the real flame? How is that possible? All the people present were shocked again when their pupils shrank. Looking at the cloud dance on the stage and the bloodthirsty radiance outlined by the corner of her mouth, she was unconsciously thrilled. The people who used to laugh at her a moment ago are naturally the most afraid now. They are afraid that the cloud ball will attack them or even kill them. This girl is so weird. Summon master. She's a summoner. All of a sudden, a voice of dismal trembling and astonishment, carried out around the Nirvana cloud platform, lifted everyone's thoughts. Summoner? Did they hear right? How can that sacred profession, which no longer exists, reappear in a waste? However, all of the people present, their hearts suddenly sank. Is she really rubbish? If she's all rubbish, what are they? Waste and waste? At this moment, the black-robed Mo Yebing standing beside the Lord of Longshu Kingdom, when he saw the use of fire elements in Yunwu, his eyes suddenly became gloomy and terrifying. Sure enough, it's her. She really dared to use her strength in public, which means that she is no longer hiding. Before that, he sent people to search for the whereabouts of the girl. He almost searched all over the 3 kingdoms, but failed to find her whereabouts. Later, he heard that a girl summoner appeared in Lingxing of the King of God Warrior Academy, fighting fiercely. At the same time, in Shenhuang College, there was a waist 9 young lady who came to the school by the family background. But soon after, she even entered the inner college, so she sent someone to come. Her face has changed, and the person who sent her is not sure whether it is her or not, so he sent someone to follow her secretly to find a chance to catch her. But every time the people who are sent, there is no return. It turns out that they are really alone. No wonder. At the beginning, he had seen the power of the girl himself. Although he suffered from absorbing the power at the beginning, the beauty of her power was enough to arouse his greed again. Mo Yebing's eyes flashed greedy and strange, and was clearly seen by the dragon. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed, but his mouth drew a bloodthirsty arc. Don't be greedy too early. This time, he won't let him have another chance. Wait, the good play is still to come. At this time, the whole challenge arena was in an uproar. Zhou Beishan's fierce eyes narrowed into a slit. It turned out that the national master said that there would be a summoner in Yunfu, which means the 9 young ladies. Is she the one who can bring 2 extremes to the Zhou dynasty by the difference between the enemy and the friend mentioned by the national master? Suddenly, there was a chill in Zhou Beishan's eyes, and his eyes looked at the cloud dance. Will she be an enemy or a friend? If she is an enemy, she cannot be left. Where to kill, to prevent future trouble. On the ring. Xiao Lingrui stares at Yunwu in horror. He clearly feels it. The fire just sent out by the fire dragon is a real fire, with a burning feeling that can destroy everything. After a long time, he was shocked. He looked up at the cloud dance and said, "Are you really a summoner?" The cloud dances, the eye light passes by a trace of impatience. It's this boring question again. Why did everyone see her as a summoner and ask again? Are you expecting that she will give a different answer? Cloud dance mouth corner coldly a smile, glance at Xiao Lingrui. A lot of people have asked this question, but in the end they all died in my hands. You also want to be one of them? In fact, it's not her mania, but her impatience. Xiao Lingrui's face changed slightly when he heard the words. A trace of anger passed through his gentle eyes, and then he died. It's just a game, not a slaughterhouse. You don't need to bet your life on it. Xiao Lingrui moved the corner of his mouth. It is not difficult to see that when Chun's smile is disappearing. If this young girl is really a summoner, he will never be confused to gamble with her life. Looking at Xiao Lingrui's smile gradually faded, and his anger gradually rising from the bottom of his eyes, the cloud danced around the corner of his mouth. It's all the same. If I lose, I'll take charge of his life. After the cloud dance finished, the deep part of the eye light was stained with a bloodthirsty smile. She is walking away, either you die or I die. No one has the ability to stop her from killing. Because if the killing stops, it means she's not far from death. What a big tone. Xiao Lingrui snorted and sneered, and his eyes showed a trace of hostility. Suddenly, he turned his hand, and the blue fighting spirit suddenly hit the clouds. As soon as the hand of cloud dance blows, the purple fighting spirit goes away. The two collide, a strong blow, with a huge afterwave bloom, suddenly blurred vision, wind chaos. But in the purple fighting spirit of Yunwu, there is some dark atmosphere. Mo Yebing saw this, but I don't know what the darkness is. When the line of sight in front of him gradually became clear, everyone was looking at the stage in a daze and couldn't make a sound. Xiao Lingrui's figure has disappeared in the challenge arena. What about people? Cloud danced slightly frown, eyes swept a trace of undercurrent, the corner of the mouth sneer did not reduce. It seems that this man is still a little interesting. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed slightly, looking at Xiao Lingrui who disappeared in the challenge arena. He was infected with an evil smile. Is spacebound? When he was in the Moyu forest, Zhou Feiyu, Shangguan and Nanganji were trapped in this kind of border. This kind of boundary is very difficult to feel the spiritual power. If you don't feel it with your heart, you won't know its specific meaning. Therefore, the best use of this kind of border is sneak attack. When Zhou Feiyu, Nanganji and Shangguan see Xiao Lingrui's disappearing figure, their thoughts also skip the boundary in the Moyu forest. Clouds hanging purple pupil eyes, eyes with a cold smile, blooming in the corner of the mouth, more bloodthirsty. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, a shadow suddenly appeared behind the clouds, like lightning, with the power of chopping all, sonorous. I saw that the long sword, whooshing, was about to pierce into Yunwu's back, bang! Almost in the same second, the black flame broadsword comes from the air, and the powerful power is buzzing in my ears. A knife and a sword collide, the clear sound of vibration reverberates back and forth, and the shadowless power spins. All of a sudden, several pillars on the challenge arena were cut off silently and finally fell down with a roar. If there was another second, Xiao Lingrui would be sure to win, but in that second, Yunwu's sword roared and cut off his sword. The result is a sharp reversal. People exclaimed, "What the hell is going on?" Cloud dance, mouth bloodthirsty smile blooming, eyes a cold, water element wrapped body, speed swept to Xiao Lingrui. A touch of purple and dark color appeared in his hand. With strange power, he beat Xiao Lingrui away. The moment Xiao Lingrui's face changes color, he suddenly forms a boundary to protect his body that flies out of balance. In a moment, the wind attacks his body and reluctantly returns to the challenge arena. Xiao Lingrui covers the power of the sharp injustice in the elixir field and coagulates the cloud dance just as his bloodshot eyes stare at the cloud dance. Poof! A touch of blood came out the next second. The speed of the wind element, the attack of the purple bucket's air condensation, enchanting power. She has been lenient. Everyone was stunned and looked at the challenge arena. Everyone could not reflect the current situation in his mind. Isn't she about to be stabbed? Why is Xiao Lingrui injured now? The speed of Yunwu's shot was just a few seconds, and most people didn't see what was going on. Only know that she only with a few seconds turned the situation around. Who is she? How do you know where I am? Xiao Lingrui's eyes were fixed on the cloud dance, and the light of his eyes was a little surprised. Cloud dance, mouth a lie, cold smile pull open, you are not always in? Xiao Lingrui is stunned. Can she see him all the time? How is that possible? The boundary he used is invisible to the naked eye. However, he did not know that cloud dance has another special element body, which is the space element. The boundary may not be the same as the space element, but it's only a small meaning to detect his position. What's more, she's a killer. He's too young to play sneak attack with her. Suddenly, Xiao Lingrui jumped up in the air, the corner of his mouth was cold, and his gentle eyes were extremely fierce. In this case, I have to do my best. Xiao Lingrui clapped his hands together. Yunwu felt that some kind of breath in the air was running away rapidly, and all gathered to Xiao Lingrui. The cloud dances, the sun suddenly mi. It's wood. He is gathering the wood property near the cloud platform. The shortcut of Lanine Cloud Platform is a dense forest, in which the wood properties are many and fine, and full of the spiritual power of wood properties. This Xiao Lingrui can control the wood property in the air. What skills is he using? However, it is at this moment. The cloud dances suddenly of feeling sky a dark, lift Mao to see. It was a huge cannibal flower. Yes, it's cannibal. However, it is different from her Hongling. This cannibal flower is wood blue, and its petals are similar to those of a trumpet flower. This cannibal flower is a combination of multiple elements, flexible and changeable. It can produce several parts between its branches. Cloud dance slightly frown, looking at the cannibal flower, eyes a cold. I don't know why I feel sick when I see this wood cannibal at the same time, but also some dark anger. He is destroying the image of Hongling in her mind. However, when the clouds frown, that split open 5 cannibal flowers, instant cloud dance crazy hit, each big mouth can swallow 5 of her. Cloud dance palm purple fighting gas rise, just want a hand, in see cannibal flower appearance, and suddenly stop. Then they volley a hide, but was another cannibal flexible catch up. Hiding and catching up with continue to hide this, that again. Finally, Yunwu couldn't bear it, and his anger suddenly burned in his eyes, kicking away a cannibal flower behind his ass. But the strength was just punishment. Soon the cannibal came back. Xiao Lingrui looks at the whole challenge arena where Yunwu is chased by cannibal flower, and a cold smile emerges. It seems that the so-called summoner is no better than you. The dragon in the corner looks at the cloud dance chased by the cannibal flower, with a helpless smile passing through his eyes. This little thing, and such a soft heart, and Nangong Yi's unchanging eyes, looking at the figure dodging around, are also infected with a smile at the moment. Zhou Feiyu looked at the cannibal flowers with awe-inspiring eyes. He resisted the impulse and didn't cut them down. Lu Bai, who has no sense of existence, doesn't know where he is now. The challenge arena is not far away from the most noble position. Zhou Batian looks at the cloud dance, which has always been in the upper hand, but is chased by several cannibals. His fierce eyes are full of anger. And the people under the stage were shocked and exclaimed when Xiao Lingrui made this cannibal flower. But at this time, it was also danced by the clouds, the funny appearance of running away, and began to laugh. On the ring, Hongling come out. Cloud dance calm anger, low roar a. Instantly called out the Hongling in the contract space. As soon as Hongling's figure appeared, the small figure suddenly turned into a big one, and restored its huge body. Master! It's disgusting to solve them all. Cloud dance, a cold drink. When Hongling saw the pirated cannibal flower, she showed her teeth and cracked them. Her tusks were grinded and cackled. It's the master! After answering the call, Hongling immediately turned her head and glared at the cannibal flowers, and began to shout angrily, I hate it, young man. People have ruined the beautiful image of Lao Tzu. You should die one by one. The big red flower, angry, almost spitting fire fiercely towards the distance cloud dance near a cannibal flower bite. Pouring blood, the ferocious fangs twinkle, full of cold. Click click. Strange biting sound, a bite of the cannibal flower, bite of the rotten, disappeared in mid-air. Cloud dance looks at the speed power of Hongling, eyes mi, Hongling's spiritual power has improved. It seems that with her breakthrough, Wuzuan, these little guys who have contractual relationship with her also rise. Contract beast? Is this the contract beast of the summoner contract? But it's a plant, not Warcraft. What's going on? The crowd looked at Hongling on the challenge arena and gaped in amazement. Seeing Hongling, Dragon's evil mouth raises a smile of evil spirit. This little thing is always so black-hearted. After Hongling solved the last pirated cannibal flower, Cloud dancing figure swept, countless mirages appeared, Palm dark purple fighting reappearance, Void fierce blow. Bang! Almost at the same time, a black figure in the void flashed from the border hiding, fell rapidly, and a loud noise rang out. The crack of the challenge arena, the cry of the crowd. All of a sudden, the atmosphere of the whole stadium was strange and restless. The Cloud dances down in the air, looking at Xiaoling Rui lying in the concave challenge arena. The corners of his mouth are indifferent. How do you feel? Xiaoling Rui took the pain and pulled the corners of his mouth powerlessly. After a long time he said, "Not bad." He wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. His face was pale and bloodless. His bones were broken. His arms were on the ground, and he stood up reluctantly. He was dancing in the clouds, and a cold smile appeared in the corner of his pale mouth. Yunwu slightly picked up the corner of his mouth, and his indifferent eyes glanced at him. "I hope I won't be disappointed." Suddenly, they whirled around to see a sharp hurricane. All of a sudden, the white clouds and blue skies seemed to change color and became dark and turbid. Although everyone in the arena is a certain distance away from the challenge arena, they can still feel the sharp edge. The ice sun of Mo night ice cold looks at the half sky of change color, the cold idea around the body, almost condensed the air. He looks at Cloud dance more than enough to deal with Xiaoling Rui, who is at the level of great martial arts master. His eyes are cold, and a sense of gloomy killing emerges. From the last fight, her strength has improved so much. He could hardly measure her strength. Originally, he thought that she was deliberately hiding, but now her hand he was unable to find out. Especially the dark power in her body. This girl must not stay. On the ring, Xiaoling Rui's cold and strange smile, green, blue, red, yellow, 5-color body, forming a 5-color vortex. The whirlpool rips the hurricane, sharp as a blade, leaving a scratch where it passes. The gray half sky is filled with 5 attributes, and dyed with strange light. That's he's 5 attributes in one. People exclaimed God, not to mention the 5 attributes, the 2 attributes of people in this mainland of China, have been counted as one of the few. Is he a 5-attribute man? Cloud Dance glances at Xiaoling Rui, and his mouth is sharp. Interesting. In this strange world, among the people she met, the dragon was a demon. There was no attribute distinction, and all 7 attributes could be used. This is the first time that she has met a person with 5 attributes. At this time, Xiaoling Rui condenses the 5 attributes on his fist. The whole fist is shining. He can vaguely see the 5 attributes moving back and forth between his fingers. In a flash, the shadow of the hurricane struck, with a power that people can't get close to, ferocious and amazing. Cloud Dance, deep eyes, in the hurricane and strong power of chaos, a head of green silk dance like charm, purple drag moving. In the eyes of the people surprised. Xiaoling Rui's powerful fist is on Yunwu. There was only one step between them, and the hurricane whirled wildly, wrapping them inside. People outside only vaguely see 2 figures, as well as that in the hurricane blooming colorful light of the spirit. Suddenly, in the body of the green hurricane, the purple light suddenly appeared, with a zee sound, like lightning, constantly hitting. Bang! With a loud sound that goes straight to the sky, the 2 figures are shocked to retreat. Yunwu was just shocked to take a small step back and then stopped steadily. But Xiaoling Rui was directly shocked away. A scream, accompanied by a dull landing sound. In this contest, she won. They all stood up and stared at Xiaoling Rui on the stage. See, Xiaoling Rui mouth corner blood continuously overflow, the whole person's face is pale, like being put dry blood, forehead tightly wrinkly, seemed to be very painful. With a ferocious frown, a mouthful of blood came out again. The people were shocked. How much is it? Xiaoling Rui tried his best to support himself, but he still couldn't get up. It was only with the help of a student of Huangshu College who came to the stage that he stood up. Xiaoling Rui looks at the Cloud Dance, a pair of eyes deep shock and shock. Are you the 7 systems of the same body? Xiao Lingrui's painful eyes looked at the cloud dance. There was anger and reluctance in his words, and he was more surprised. Maybe few people can see the situation clearly, but he can't see it better. When he attacked her, his 5 attributes were isolated by her space barrier. When her other 5 attributes appeared, he also used the barrier in martial arts. But did not expect she actually also has the thunder element, the enemy of martial arts. At that moment, his border was destroyed, he was shot away, and she just stepped back. How big is the difference between the two? So you can see. Blue talent, great martial arts master level, 5 systems in 1, special martial arts. He never thought that he would lose so thoroughly and lose on this stage. However, he was secretly glad that he was shot away. Instead of being eroded by her terrible power, Xiao Lingrui can't help but shake his fist in anger. He was defeated in such a mess. Was it a fluke that he left his life? When people heard Xiao Lingrui say that the 7 systems are the same, they were shocked and looked at Yunwu. 7 systems in 1, is she a member of the 7 systems? 7 series summoner? Isn't that the almighty summoner? How is that possible? Haven't thunder elements and space elements disappeared for a long time? How could the jaw of everyone's astonishment almost fell down? Is the rumored waste Miss 9 really the person in front of her? In front of the cloud dance? Clearly still that some sick face, but at this moment of her, but give people a kind of cool, bloodthirsty, cold, arrogant and domineering. Which is like rubbish. But when they didn't compete, they all ignored this point and thought that she was the trash only. Is it their arrogance that blinds them? In the end, did it blind them? Cloud dance eyes cold sneer, looking at the eyes of the people in consternation, cold hum. She doesn't like to be noticed. But isn't that what she wants today? She wants to let everyone know that she is not a waste that can be handled at will. Then Cloud Dance looks back at Xiao Lingrui, and the corners of his mouth outline a light smile, cold and bloodthirsty. Thank you for your strength, let me achieve the purpose I want. Suddenly, Xiao Lingrui heard the voice of Cloud Dance in his mind. Xiao Lingrui suddenly raised his eyes and found that Yunwu was looking at him like a smile. She said thank you for getting her there? Does his strength only serve his purpose? No threat at all? There was a flame in his eyes, a flame of anger. With a cold smile, Yunwu glanced at the crowd and said coldly, I'm Miss 9 of Yunfu. I'm the waste in your mouth, and I'm also the fiancé of Long Shitzi. Please remember that in the future. Having said that, she did not look at the crowd anymore, and a plunder had already appeared beside Long Qingxia. The Wind 7 old looking at to leave a figure, the sharp Mao Sun inside, the surprised facial expression didn't subside. This girl has 7 elements at the same time? He was surprised to stare straight at Yunwu, and his eyes were excited and uncontrollable. Thunder elements and space elements have disappeared for many years, so no one can use them. Almost, people have long forgotten their existence. Although Xiao Lingrui also uses space to form a boundary, it's just a special skill. Although he is surprised, it's definitely not as good as this girl. Old Fengqi quickly felt his heart and tried to calm the excited abnormal heartbeat. This girl, let him be surprised, excited heart disease almost came out. Yunwu sits next to Long Qingxi and glances at him with a smile. The whole person leans on his shoulder relaxed. Long Qingxia stroked her hair, and her eyes were full of smiles. Now I think my face is full of light, and I have found treasure. Then treasure it. Cloud Dance micro closed eyes, lazy response. Dragon Qingxia's mouth was full of smile, holding Cloud Dance's waist, looking at people's eyes still staying on Cloud Dance. His eyes sank, and he said with a smile, I really don't like to let others see you like this. Cloud Dance smells speech, slightly lift Mao on his shoulder, helplessly glance at him one eye. That how can you do? It's easy. Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow a pick, enchantment lifted a touch of hot. I go on stage, let them see me. Under the black line of Cloud Dance's forehead. Wind 7 old has been excited looking at Cloud Dance. At this time just found, Cloud Dance and Dragon poor evil posture is ambiguous, The corner of the mouth can't help smoking. It's a game. What are they doing? However, the Wind 7 old also be regarded as the human spirit, quickly take back the vision, a spit not smooth, just cough for a long time. I declare that Xiao Lingrui challenges Yunwu and Yunwu wins. Wind 7 old micro lift chin, a face serious say. But his eyes could not help glancing at Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxia again, thinking deeply. Since the girl and Long Shitzi fall in love so much, it is estimated that Long Shitzi must have something extraordinary. It seems that the next good play is still going on. Next, Dragon 3, King Warrior Academy, draw lots on stage. Wind 7 old red, glanced at a Dragon Qing evil, but touched Cloud Dance cold eyes, can't help but a creeping. How could he provoke her? How could he look at him with a murderous eye? Long Qingxia looks at Cloud Dance's icy eyes, smiles at the corners of his mouth, and bewitches him, waiting for my husband to come back. Yunwu reluctantly moved his head on his shoulder to the back of the chair, then frowned slightly, sat up and nodded indifferently. Long Qingxia looked at Yunwu's uncomfortable expression without his shoulder, and his eyes couldn't help flashing a look of doting. However, under the gaze of the crowd, he took back his sight and walked on the challenge arena like a leisurely walk. There was an indescribable grace in his manner. The black dosha made him look like he was dyed with a mystery from his bones. However, Long Shitzi seems to be a well-known waste. However, just after seeing the battle of Cloud Dance Wastewood against the sky, people's eyes to see Dragon's evil were more or less doubted. At the beginning of the irony, now there is no more. They just stare at the dragon and don't say anything. Because I really don't know if there will be such a counterattack. After Long Qingxia came to the stage, he took out a note in the box and gave it to Fengqi. Dragon 3 of Shenwang's Samurai Academy, against Qingfeng of Huangshu's Samurai Academy. Wind 7 old see Dragon Qing evil smoke after the note, think of Cloud Dance to Qingfeng put forward the conditions, face a moment slightly changed. This year's competition is really a headache. Zhou Batian saw the dragon on the stage, Li Rant's eyes sank slightly. It seems that I vaguely feel that at this time, some of the breath of the Dragon 3 is different from the past, like something is hidden. Is he pretending to be a waste? And Moyi Ice in Cold Mao Sun, also all the time looking at Long Qing evil, seemed to have found a touch of familiar breath on him. On the ring, the two figures stand opposite each other. A smile of evil spirit under the black veil, a smile of disdain. Long Qingxia looks at Qingfeng, and his eyes pass by with a smile. Blue talent. At the beginning of Wusheng's life, he was so powerful in his 30s that he could be called a genius among the geniuses. No wonder he was so arrogant. It seems that he had some capital. However, in front of him, he is always the only one who is crazy, but it's not his turn to be arrogant. But in this moment, a touch of blue fighting spirit came in the air and waved straight at the dragon. Dragon Qing evil figure a shake, easy to avoid a blow, the corner of the mouth outlines smile gradually bloodthirsty. Then, Qingfeng's figure is wiped, and a water sword is sweeping. The dragon doesn't hide this time, but reaches out a palm to meet it. Is he going to die? Just when everyone thought that Long Qingxia was looking for death, he turned his hand and Qingfeng's water sword suddenly disappeared out of thin air. In the moment of Qingfeng's surprise, with a wave of Dragon's evil purple fighting spirit, he flew out in an instant. Wind speed turbulence, a burst of rapid collision sound and a few crisp leap into the ears of the people. He's a purple talent? Return a blow will be the strength of the early Wusheng fly. What's the matter with the two rubbish in the rumor? Isn't that a great strength? Qingfeng stood up, arrogant eyes staring at the dragon evil, killing spread. Cloud Dance corner of the mouth sneer at a glance. Qingfeng, don't seek to die will not die, now it seems that he is seeking to die. Zhou Batian saw the counterattack of Dragon Qingxia, and his fierce eyes were suddenly surprised. He has been hiding his strength? For more than 10 years, even he has been cheated? What the hell does he want to do? The cold light of Zhou Batian's eyes flickered darkly. It seems you have some strength too. Qingfeng glances at Dragon Qingxia. Although he disdains, he is surprised that he has purple talent. Dragon Qing evil smell speech, that black fight under the cape of the lip bloodthirsty hook, hoarse voice die with a sense of arrogance, enough to fly your strength. Enough to fly him? What a arrogant tone. Qing Feng smell speech face instant iron green, a black sword suddenly appear, gloomy way, seek death. The dark black sword exudes a strange light, even the breath on Qing Feng seems to be integrated with the black sword. Dragon Qingxia looks at the black sword, his eyes slightly narrowed. It's a black sword made of black iron. As soon as his bloodthirsty light came up, an épée appeared in his hand and collided with the black sword. Bang! There was a sonorous echo. Qing Feng's eyes flashed a little surprised, and he tried his best to hold the black sword, so as not to throw it away. But soon, Qing Feng's face suddenly changed. That strike collided, and the strength of black sword actually ate him back? Qing Feng coagulates the dragon to pour evil, and the eye light flashes a color of horror. What did he do? Mo Yebing, who has been sitting, sees the épée in the hand of Long Qingxia, and the dark eyes are sweeping the strange cold light at the moment. It's him. No wonder he felt that his breath would be so familiar. It's him. What have you done? Qing Feng, burning angry eyes, a cold, black sword pointed to the dragon Qingxia, asked. Long Qingxia sneered and said, "Can't you see it? The strong, in the early days of wuxing." The last two words, it seems that deliberately increased a few points. Qing Feng's smell speech, the anger in the eyes is more obvious. That anger seems to burn to the black sword. Suddenly the black sword also hazy pan with a touch of fireworks. In an instant, the breath around Qing Feng changed strangely, the figure trembled, and the wood property attacked instantly. As soon as the sneer of Dragon Qingxia's eyes passed by, a green light rose in his body. He was fighting with wood. Qing Feng water attribute, he also water attribute. He is a native, and so is he. It's like provocation, it's like mockery, it's like fun. And the people under the stage saw their way of fighting, they were too stunned to speak. How many attributes does he and he have? Isn't he rubbish? Is it hidden strength? Shouldn't it be the same as Miss Yun Jiajiu just now? Is it the same with 7 attributes? God, what's the matter with these two people? Suddenly, Long Qingxia seemed to be tired of playing, and a bloody light rose from the corner of his mouth. In an instant, the 5 elements come out together, condensing all their strength on the épée, winding the purple fighting spirit, and waving it in the air. Bang! With a loud noise, the whole challenge arena split into 2. Long Qingxia and Qing Feng are 1 1/2. And at this time of Qing Feng, eyes in addition to surprise or horror. I saw that the black sword in his hand was divided into 2 parts by the qi of the sword. Half of the black sword was in his hand, with blood on it. It was left on his shoulder. He was cut by the blow just now. At the moment, his shoulder is open, and his white robe is stained with a large amount of blood. The blood is still flowing out. Ferocious and bare-faced Qing Feng glanced at the dragon, but his eyes were shocked and deep. The strike of Long Qingxia just now combined 5 attributes and his own fighting spirit. He thought he could take his strike, but now the result is his strength really above him? No way. He didn't believe that there was anyone in the world who had more talent than him. He is the first one to break through the martial arts sage in less than 30 years. It's absolutely impossible for anyone to be more talented than him. It's absolutely impossible. Qing Feng's eyes became more fierce, and the darkness in his eyes was a little bit more. This time I'll take your life. Do you have the ability to take it? Dragon Qing evil mouth bloodthirsty smile a hum, I light inside flit a touch of uninteresting. Such arrogant and conceited people waste their strength in vain. Then you can see if I have the ability. His voice just fell. Suddenly, Qing Feng's figure suddenly flickered, and in an instant, 6 illusions appeared around Long Qingxi. Phantom? The cloud dance under the stage frowned slightly, and the light of eyes flashed a little bit of surprise. These 6 illusions have the same breath and strength as the Numenon, and they can't tell which is the real Numenon. But the strength is equal to that of 6 people. She had never seen such a mirage. The strength of the 6 martial saints in the early stage was 6 to 1. Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil. The Mao light passes a touch of worry. I don't know if this man can handle it. Long Qingxia's eyes dropped and his smile swept the 6 figures in front of his eyes. The bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth seemed to be gradually deepened and added a lot. Suddenly, a shadow came. Just at the moment of Dragon's evil hand, another figure came at a gallop. Want to give him a double click? As soon as the dragon's evil eyes narrowed, his purple fighting spirit condensed, and his feet moved, he took a quick hand to solve one problem in an instant. However, it was at the same moment. Brush. He suddenly felt the wind whistling in his ears, and his figure leaped in the air in an instant. It was still a step late. The black dosha on his head floats in the wind, showing off a perfect radiance and a sound of cool air under the stage. The burned face, pockmarked and uncovered, showed itself in front of everyone. How ugly! Is this the true face of Long Shitzi? No wonder they wear black gauze all day long. It's really ugly. People like this don't find a way to get in. At the beginning he was still shocked by the strength of the dragon, but at this time, he was completely frightened by the appearance of his black dosha. One after another, the sound of disgust spread all of a sudden. Cloud Dance listened to the public's discussion, lazy eyes swept to frost, the sharp smile of the corner of the mouth also hook up. Not only did people talk in whispers, but Zhou Feiyu and Shangguan were stunned for a long time when they saw his face. Although we all know that he was disfigured, we didn't think it would be so serious. A face with edges and corners is beyond recognition now. Even the lips are half burned. Isn't he the evil man? How can such a face be under the black dosha? Is this his face changing? Or is that what he is? Otherwise, why do you dare not show your true face all the time? Zhou Feiyu looks at the dragon and looks back at the Cloud Dance. Although he can't express any opinions to him around her, it doesn't mean he won't think. If the true face of the Dragon 3 is really this face, he will feel some terrible and ferocious after seeing it. Does she really have no feeling at all? Think of her slouching on his shoulder, think of her kissing him. Somewhere in Zhou Feiyu's heart, there was some nameless anger. However, there was a ripple in Shangguan's lazy eyes. However, when he saw Yunwu's sneer, he soon retired. The person she chooses, he seems not qualified to say anything. What's more, he always felt that the Dragon 3 was not simple. Perhaps, his face in front of him was just a mask. Because the evil man who followed her in the forest before, if it was not the Dragon 3, would the evil man give her to other men? Think about it, the Shangguan heart seems to have some mirror up. In addition to the Cloud Dance, there seems to be another one that is the quietest, with no change in the look. That's Nanganji. In his eyes, it seems that all the camouflage does not exist, just like the original Cloud Dance. No matter how easy she is, it seems that she can't escape his eyes. Long Qingxia, Long San, and even that little dragon in his eyes, he always saw a person. Now, how could he be surprised? On the ring, Qingfeng, who lives in the mirage, sees the face of Dragon 3. His eyes suddenly stagnate. It seems that he can't believe it. His body suddenly freezes. And it's this stiffness that gives Dragon Qingxia a goal. Dragon Qingxia's bloodthirsty smile suddenly deepened. The Apei roared through the sky and circled. The fierce sword chi rubbed against Qingfeng. Qingfeng just glanced at the Apei, but he was not in a hurry. His body was like being hit by a huge stone, and he had no resistance to let the sword chi lead him to roll. Colliding with pillars, splints, stones, intense unbearable pain, let that Qingfeng pain hum a voice. Poof! But a mouthful of blood is sprayed out. Dragon Qing evil bloodthirsty eyes, looking at the distant figure on the ground, the radiance of the mouth continues to expand. In the second game, he won. Everyone looked at the Qingfeng who was hit by a blow and couldn't get up anymore. The light in his eyes changed slightly, and the surprised eyes coagulated that ferocious face. With one move, Qingfeng was hit dozens of meters away. How powerful was his blow? How strong is this man? Is he allowed to play with Wu Shen? However, no one knows. Just that blow for a man, it really didn't even work. Long Qingxia takes back his eyes, takes the épée back to the space, and the deep eyes ponder for a moment. He raises his eyes and puts his eyes on Mo Yebing. After that, Long Qingxie jumped down from the challenge arena in full view of the public and walked towards the position of the leader of Longshu Kingdom. There is no one to stop. Because, as everyone knows, Long Shizi, although he is now the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty, is also the third prince of the state of Longsu. As for the status, that is the second. Long Qingxie went to the position in front of the seat and took a look at the Lord of Longshu, his so-called Father Emperor. Master, how do you think the spirit of the Lord is not good and his face is not good? Dragon Qing evil eyes light dim, sword eyebrow a pick, ask. Mo Ye's icy eyes look directly at Long Qingxie. He exposes his strength in public and makes him discover his identity. Now he comes up to ask in public. I really don't know what medicine he bought in the gourd. The old disease of the Lord recurred, and he was in a bad state. I'm worried about Long Shizi. It seems that the warmth of the whole Nirvana cloud platform has dropped a few points. Long Shizi? The national master deliberately called out the title, as if to remind Long Qingxie that it was the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty. However, Long Qingxie's mouth was raised, and the book's ferocious face was even more ferocious. If so, I know a little bit about medicine. Why don't you let me treat the old diseases of the Lord? With that, Long Qingxie wanted to explore his hand. Ink Night Ice but hand a stretch, stopped the hand that Dragon Qing Evil wants to probe to come over. Don't bother Long Shizi. I've already looked for the Imperial Doctor. Ink Night Ice has been calm eyes, cold as prison breath coagulation, speculate on the purpose of Dragon Evil. Yes? Seeing that the Lord is still in such a state, it can only be said that the Imperial Doctor of Long Shugua only eats dry food. Long Qingxie half squints his eyes, slightly raises the corners of his mouth, and his eyes are smiling with ink ice. Ink Night Ice smell speech, facial expression tiny change. The third son of the dragon has been showing up as a waste material, saying that the Imperial Doctor is a quack. What's your trick? The Mo Night Ice Cold Mao Sun doesn't have a silk other facial expression, direct vision Dragon Qing Evil, seem to want to shoot him to where. Everyone knows that Long San is the son of Long Yaozi and the third prince of Long Shugua. This Mo Yibing sees Long Qingxie as a completely irrelevant outsider in front of the public, and his tone is so disrespectful that people present can't help but wonder. This national teacher's face is too big. Even if the emperor's old illness relapses, it seems that it's not his turn to speak, right? However, the reputation of the national teacher in Longshu State did spread to other two countries. At the beginning, it seemed that it was the master of the state of Longshu who calculated that the third prince of the dragon was the disaster star of the state of Longshu, so he sent the third prince of the dragon to the Zhou dynasty and became the son of the dragon. I saw that Long Qingxie dropped his eyes with a smile, and the corner of his mouth was cold. Then he raised his eyes and said, "It seems that I, the third prince of Longshu Kingdom, don't believe you, the national teacher of Longshu Kingdom. In this case, I don't know. As Long Shao, the leader of the Dragon Pavilion, is the weight enough?" What? Long Shao? I saw that the words of Long Qingxie fell, not only the Ink Night Ice was stunned, but also the people present were stunned. Long Shao, the leader of Longa Pavilion, is famous throughout the three kingdoms. That's Long Shao, who monopolized the business of the three kingdoms. The lords of the three kingdoms, as well as the emperors and nobles, have always wanted to attract people. Just when everyone was in a daze. Dragon Qing evil ferocious face outlines a radiant, staring at the Ink Night Ice eyes, there is a bloodthirsty meaning. Everything will start here. Suddenly, Long Qingxie put a hand on his face and pulled it fiercely. A human skin mask was pulled off. Under the mask of the ferocious burned human skin. It's a face of evil spirit, indifference and evil. It's just like a carved face. It's not perfect to have more or less. Especially with that pair of unique golden eyes and a head of elegant silver hair, dyed the evil color of evil. The whole person is totally different from the Dragon 3 just now. Mo Night Ice Cold Maua am I, as expected as he. However, what surprised him was that he was still the Dragon Shao in the Dragon Pavilion, who had been so mysterious that even he could not investigate. The crowd looked at Long Qingxia's move and was stunned for a moment. Then, the sound of pouring qi spread secretly, with big eyes and unbelievable eyes, the dragon's evil face. One by one, the breaths stopped. Now, who is this face that is perfect and evil? Is this Long Shixi? How could that be? Long Shixi, who is regarded as a waste in the world, is the Dragon Shao who has a good reputation in the Three Kingdoms. For a moment, it made people feel that they could not digest this information. The Ink Knight Isen Yin coagulates the dragon to pour evil. The abnormal facial expression has already restored to the color, but the Ice Son of Ice Cave General is colder a few minutes. Dragon 3 is Dragon Little. In fact, they all take Dragon as their surname, which he should have guessed for a long time. However, he was too confident in his calculations. No. When Zhou Batian and Zhou Feiyu saw the dragon's evil spirit and peeled off the ferocious human skin, revealing the original evil appearance, their faces looked like eggplant beaten by frost. Blue and purple, with deep disbelief in the pupil. However, like more than shocked, Zhou Feiyu's eyes are full of anger. It's him. It's the same person. When he said that the least price to pay was opportunity that day, he doubted it, but he didn't study it carefully. Now it seems that his guess is true. The clenched fists. Cloud dance swept everybody one eye, the corner of the mouth is raising sneer, the eye depth is actually slightly chilly. Looking at the expressions of those who once slandered him, looked down upon him, satirized him and laughed at him, the coldness around her sank a little. Enjoy the shock. Master, I don't know if Long Shao has that thin face that can govern the country? Dragon Qing evil pick eyebrow looking at Mo Yi Bing. The corner of the mouth is still hanging that white bloodthirsty sense. With the cold light from the bottom of Ice's eyes, the darkness seemed to be thinking about something. He said hoarsely, since the dragon has little heart, it's troublesome for the dragon. As soon as the words came out, there was another hiss. Is he really Long Shao? Originally, there were many people who remained skeptical. But even the national master of Long Shugua has confirmed it. Who else dares to doubt it? Long Shao is actually Long San? Oh my god, not only is it not a waste, but also has such amazing martial arts skills and talent, and such a mysterious identity of Nyocha. What's the secret behind this man? When Long Qingxia heard Mo Yebing's reply, the meaning of his mouth was more obvious. What's the trouble? I'm the third prince of Longshu Kingdom. For my father's sake, it's right. Don't you think so, Mr. Guesher? In a word, let Mo Yebing's face look very ugly. At this time, the Ink Knight Ice seems to finally understand the dragon's evil eyes. He wanted to restore the status of the three princes of Longzhuguo in public and return to Longzhuguo above board. No wonder he will choose to show his strength in the Three Kingdoms competition and dare to restore his identity in front of him. For Mo Yebing's face, Long Qingxia sneers and glances coldly, then takes back his sight. Then, looking at the crowd, the evil and enchanting light in their behavior completely revealed their unintentionalness. The female students in the challenge arena, looking at the evil face of Long Qingxia, immediately held their breath, staring at Long Qingxia. A girl's heart overflowed. Since ancient times, beauty is still very important. Cloud dance micro frown corner of the mouth sneer, eyes light chill appear, beauty disaster. Long Qingxia stepped down and danced with clouds all the way. Without the cover of the black veil, the light of his whole body made the cloud dance feel a little flashy. This man, still wearing that veil, makes people feel more comfortable. They all took a cool breath when they looked at each other as if they were looking at each other. Originally, people thought that the two wastes were so rebellious. Are they blind? Or are they good at hiding? I'm afraid they were shocked more than they have ever been in their lives. If they had not been young, they would have been shocked to death. The most miserable one is Fingillo. After learning the mysterious identity of Dragon 3, he covers his heart and staggers in surprise. Long Shao is a mysterious business tycoon in everyone's eyes. He is almost a rich man in charge of the wealth of the Three Kingdoms. It is said that his wealth has the power to shake the whole mainland of China with a single finger. Some of the funds of his Nirvana Cloud Terrace were donated by the shops of Longa. Now Longshao is the news of Long San. He must digest it for a while. However, at this time or hastily announce the results first. I declare that the Dragon 3 of Shunwang Samurai Academy is against the Dragon 3 of Huangshu Samurai Academy, and the Dragon 3 wins. The result is bound. Qing Feng, who was helped up, looked at the two people in the distance. Next, Qi Daoyuan of Huangshu Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. What Qi Daoyuan draws is Nangongji. Although Nangong Yi looks as if he is a fairy, he doesn't seem to be stained with any dust. However, his hand is not as gentle as his image. If you don't make a move, you will not leave your opponent the habit of resisting. Although this is a competition, can't hurt life, but a shot will also Qi Daoyuan fly. Qi Daoyuan can stand in the challenge arena, but it also shows that his strength is good. The reaction is rapid, and the phantom gallops back. The fierce breath on his body is aggressive, just like a dragon. It seems that as long as he passes by, he will be hurt by the sharp airflow. When his figure attacked Nangongji again, a strange scene happened. Nangong Yi stops his shoulder with his bare hands, and suddenly stops the blurring in front of him. The eyes under the white gauze are still calm. Suddenly, there was a soft power in that palm, which was extremely calm and gentle, without any intention of killing. At that moment, Qi Daoyuan's figure was like an arrow off the bow, flying out in an instant. People are surprised to see Qi Daoyuan flying out of the figure again, and then look at the challenge arena of Nangong Yi, surprised again. What did he do? All they saw was his hand on his shoulder, but it bounced off the next second. The other side is the strength of a great martial arts master in the early days. People exclaimed, "What's the matter with all the students of Shunwang Samurai Academy?" If you don't do it, it's the quickest way to solve it. It's quite like Nangong Yi's style. Yunwu looks at Nangong Yi under the white gauze, with a faint smile on his lips. King of God's Samurai Academy Nangong Yixing. 7 Old Wind announced the results, stiff corners of the mouth, but cannot help twitching up. Where on earth did the 5 old men pick out these people? One is more mysterious than the other. It is estimated that the 3 of them can't turn out a few of their powerful martial arts skills in the whole mainland of China. Now they're all in one college? It's kind of weird. Next, Zhou Feiyu of Shunwang Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. When the name of Zhou Feiyu falls, the most expected is the people of the Zhou dynasty. Everyone knew that Zhou Feiyu, a young general, was handsome, straight, and mighty. He was almost a god of the Zhou dynasty. However, as soon as Zhou Feiyu came to power, he seemed to show some anger. Every shot is sharp and extremely fast, and the sharp fundus hides a frost like flame, full of cold. Cloud Dance swept the anger in his eyes from a distance. He glanced back at Zhou Badian. The corner of his mouth made a mockery, and then he took back his eyes. A few minutes later, Zhou Feiyu won the game with full offensive speed and won. Then there is Shangguan. Shangguan was lazy. He didn't show much passion in the whole challenge arena. He was just like a fool. However, it is still unexpected, won the victory. However, there have been the first 2 most exciting games. Behind this, it seems that there is always a lack of some shock. However, it is also in the voice of surprise, won the 5th game. Until the last game. Cloud Dance looked back and glanced at Liu Bai's position, only to find that Liu Bai's position was empty and he didn't know where to go. Her eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of meditation passed through her eyes. It seemed that he had been away for a long time. Cloud Dance micro-frown, unconsciously glanced at the dark night ice, slightly drooping eyes. Next, Liu Bai will draw lots on the stage. Just after Fengqi called out Liu Bai's name, everyone looked at Yunwu, but Liu Bai's figure was not seen. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a silk chili, lift Mao Wei. Liu Bai can't participate in the competition. Feng Qilao was stunned, and then said, the non-contestant will abstain, and the opponent will win. How does that affect the overall results? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows. She only after the final result is they won. It's just a losing game. 5-1, Shenhuang Samurai Academy wins. However, if the academy abstains, it's not very good for the reputation of the academy. It's better to change someone. We abstained in this game. Without waiting for Fengqi to finish, Yunwu interrupts him, which makes Fengqi's eyes surprised. Cloud Dance just slightly raised the corner of the mouth, died with a lazy smile. As long as the result is what she wants, as for the reputation of the college, what does it matter to her? She has a bad reputation of her own. The Wind 7-old pull to pull the corner of the mouth, a twitch, can helplessly shake head. The Three Kingdoms competition, the final winner is the King of the Gods Samurai Academy. All of them look at Yunwu. The Shenhuang Samurai Academy, which has been at the bottom of the table for 3 years in a row, actually won the counter-attack with such an attitude. Although it gave up in the last game, it was a bit unsatisfactory, but in the previous few games, it really blinded everyone. It's a wonderful game, ha ha ha. Zhou Ba Tianhao put a smile, covered into the deep sharp eyes. Sidu Jin also nodded, a pair of brilliant eyes full of smile, really wonderful. Then I'll announce that the game is over. Wait. When Zhou Batian was about to announce the end of the game, a cold voice interrupted him. In the corner not far away, a purple figure came slowly, with a bloodthirsty and indifferent smile on the corner of his mouth. His manner was indescribable and elegant. Cloud Dance walked to Qingfeng's side, eyes light tiny am I, through a touch of cold, my condition should fulfill it? Qingfeng was stunned for a moment. Conditions? Then, it seemed that he remembered something, and a little undercurrent flashed by his eyes. It seemed that now he knew what a ridiculous condition he had promised. Only the elders can decide the dissolution of the college, and I, as a student, can make a decision. Qingfeng hidden eyes in the dark, coagulation Cloud Dance, mouth pulled out a smile disdain to ridicule. People smell speech, all slightly alung, didn't expect to Qingfeng when actually don't admit. But what he said is that it is not up to him to decide whether the college will be dissolved, but through the unanimous vote of the elders in the college. But Huangshu Samurai Academy has existed since it became the Kingdom of Lian. How can it be said to be dissolved when it is dissolved? Cloud Dance tiny a low Mao nods, a put on bloodthirsty chilly smile to emerge. So say, you are playing me? Qingfeng touched her eyes, spine fierce a cool, eyes Jing ran a moment. At the bottom of my heart, some inexplicable fear rises. However, the size of this matter, he is also very clear in his mind, it is impossible to let the college disband. He played tricks on her, and he didn't believe it. In front of the public and the Lord of King, and what can she do with him? When Qingfeng thought about it, his confidence rose. With a cold hum, he continued to sneer, it's you who take it seriously. I just Suddenly, a tearing scream filled the whole stadium. The strange atmosphere that makes people feel numb spreads a bloody smell of tearing. The crowd looked at the Cloud Dance, and their faces were horrified. I saw her eyes with a layer of frost. At the moment, there was a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet. In her hand she was holding a big black flame knife, sharp and sharp. On the broadsword, the bright red blood is flowing. Along the edge of the broadsword, drop by drop on the ground at her feet, is pale twitching Qingfeng and an arm. Long Qingxie in the distance looked at the arm and said with a smile, this little thing he only cut off his arm. Cloud Dance put away the sword, looked back at the Wind 7-old, eyes lights and cold. I do this, against the rules of the game? Wind 7-old face schwa of a change, he lived for decades, the first time was a girl shocked can't react. An arm, say chop chop? It's only a moment to stop. There's no hesitation. Is this little girl really so determined? How can we say that he is also one of the contestants of Huangshu Samurai Academy? The challenge between the two academies is such a naked provocation. Is it really good? The rules are not clear but... Oh, that's no foul. Cloud Dance clear nod, take back the vision, turn to the dragon to pour evil. Fengqi, with his mouth open, was stunned again. What he wants to say is that now the game is over, it's making trouble after the game, but after touching Cloud Dance's cold and resolute figure and Sitolan's eyes, he sighed helplessly. He has also become a person of favoritism. Yunwu returned to his seat and glanced at the dragon's evil spirit. His eyes were bright and quiet. It's time to train the people of Huangshu Samurai Academy. The meaning of this is very clear. With a deep smile, Long Qingxie put his arms around her waist. I can't hide anything from this little thing. He raised Mao to Hope 1 IC2 Lan, Mao Guang Surface 1 Silk Warning. Huangshu Warrior Academy is his influence. If Yunwu hadn't guessed this, I'm afraid she wouldn't have let Qing Feng and Huangshu Academy go. Situ Lan touched his eyes, shrugged, and seemed helpless. But deep in that pair of wise eyes, there was an imperceptible cold, looking straight at Qing Feng still lying on the ground. Even if Cloud Dance let him go, Situ Lan will not let him go. Is this the talent cultivated in the college? What a fool. In the quiet forest of Nyantai, it is quiet and comfortable. Are you going to go back today? Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Dragon to pour evil, Mao light heavy inquiry. Dragon Qing evil micro a jaw head, Yang that wipe unique smile. If reluctant for husband, go back with husband. The Cloud Dance slightly droops the eye light passes over a silk-heavy idea. Go to nature is to go. But before going, she needs to go back to inner college to get the map. I'm afraid she can't go back with him for the time being. Be careful on your own. Now that you have exposed your identity, I think there will be a lot of trouble on the way. Dragon Qing evil mouth radiant a yang, embrace her in the bosom. Yunwu nodded in his arms. The man always seemed to know what she was thinking. To be honest, it feels good, be careful and wait for me. In the end, Yunwu didn't say much. Because of a lot of things, they seemed to have a tacit understanding, not to say too much. After the Three Kingdoms competition, Yunwu and Long Qingxi broke up. Long Qingxi followed Long Shugua's troops back to Long Shugua, while Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Batian went back to Zhou Dynasty. And on the second day after the Three Kingdoms competition, just one night, the Cloud family that waste 9 miss, unexpectedly is many department summoners news, with that waste Dragon World Sun Dragon 3, unexpectedly is that famous, the most mysterious dragon little news. It almost spread all over the world and immediately caused a sensation in the whole mainland of China. Waste to genius? It is estimated that everyone has broken their glasses. In particular, even if it is a genius, but this one has become the legendary summoner, and the other one has become the most powerful dragon Shao in the Three Kingdoms. It's shocking. For a while. There are more and more rumors about them. Almost everything about Miss Nine and Long Shao has been turned out. Even gradually, news spread. It is said that the Zitong girl who made trouble in Murong Mansion in Los Angeles is Miss Yun Jiajio. People in Los Angeles are very popular. The Murong family, including the old Murong people, were all dumbfounded. At that time, the girl of that boy was Miss Yun Jiajio? And the summoner? But when the silly eyes shocked in the past, it was followed by a very happy heart. Because the Murong family leader recognized Yunwu as their daughter. Doesn't that mean that they have a big relationship with the ninth lady? Think about it, that Murong old man excited one by one. Go straight to the Murong's house, want to discuss with the Murong's master, whether to go to the Cloud's house in the Imperial City, to contact the Murong's dry daughter. However, the mother-in-law and the Murong family leaders seemed to behave normally, as if they already knew the identity of Yunwu. Of course. Apart from the other side of Los Angeles, this end of the Imperial City is also volatile. You know, Miss Nine of the Cloud family is a waste. It's estimated that no one in the whole Imperial City knows about it. But it suddenly came out that Miss Nine turned into a talent and became a summoner. She also took part in the Three Kingdoms competition on behalf of Shenwang Samurai Academy and won a great victory. She was really surprised that many people lost their chin. However, as soon as the news came out, the woman was the first to know. The main hall of the back palace of the Zhou dynasty. A woman in a golden dress was sitting on the lady's chair, with a trace of gloom floating in her beautiful eyes. The golden and resplendent main hall is now covered with a layer of gray, and the breath is strange and quiet. You say that Miss Yunfu 9 is the purple pupil girl? A voice with gloomy anger broke the silence in the main hall. Standing not far away from her, the man in black lowered his head and said, "Yes." "Pup." The crisp sound of breaking came out. The snow willow, who tasted tea gracefully, flashed a trace of coldness in her beautiful eyes. "Bring her back to me. At all costs. If she doesn't come back, you don't have to come back." The main hall was filled with a trace of gloomy atmosphere, and the elegant and calm face was a bit ferocious at the moment. Yes, the man in black suddenly nodded and retreated respectfully. No wonder, since last time, she has never heard from her again. It turns out that she has been hiding her identity as Miss 9. However, what makes Xuelio very angry is that she didn't take her life after she had been fed with poison for more than 10 years. Why on earth? Is it because she is the inheritor of the bright blood of the witch clan? Damn it. At the beginning, if it was not for the fate of the witch people, she could not be killed by others when she was under 15. Why did she keep her for more than 10 years? But now that she was 15, she found that everything was out of her control. Snow Willow put down the teacup in her hand, and her beautiful eyes swept a trace of anger. She must not stay. Soon, the anger in her beautiful eyes was gone, and Xuelio got up and left. However, just after she left, the teacup on the table turned into a pool of foam in an instant. Internal college. The night is winding around on the silent square. A little figure disappeared. When it reappeared, it was in front of the old tower. "Elder, the game has won. According to the agreement, can I have the map?" Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Big Elder, star bright Mao sun inside, hardcover as silk of excitement, but performance more is indifferent. If you open your mouth, you will show your intention directly. She also needs to rush to Longzuguo to see if she can catch up with him. In fact, the Three Kingdoms competition is set up in the middle of the Three Kingdoms. The distance is not too far. One night's rapid flight will take you to the position of Shunwang Samurai Academy and competition in a few hours. If she gets the map, she will catch up with it immediately. It is estimated that she will be able to catch up tomorrow afternoon. See Cloud Dance that directly to the point, tower old that calm face, slightly raised a smile. "Take it." As soon as his hoarse voice fell, a map fell in the air. Cloud Dance took the map and glanced at it. There was a trace of fine awe in her eyes, and the corner of her mouth could not help raising it. It's true. She has another map, and now she has 6. With a map in hand, Cloud Dance naturally doesn't need to waste time in the college. "Thank you, Elder. I have something urgent, so I'll go first." Language falls under. Also, don't wait for Big Elder to say what. Cloud Dance figure a sweep, already disappeared on the square. "This girl, I want you to chat with me," the old man, so fast. Elder looking at the empty square, calm face rarely flashed a helpless, complaining low Nan. Cloud Dance looked at the map in the hand, took a deep breath. The purple pupil Mao can't hide the joy. But in a second hand, it was quickly put into space. She lifted her eyes to see a clear moon hanging in the sky. Her eyes twinkled. Now that the map of the college has been solved, she can temporarily put down what she is doing and help him wholeheartedly. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth a yang, soars in the air and rushes toward the Cloud family army. Since we want to seize power, how can we lose strength? Of course, with her elite troops and killer corps. I just don't know how they have been training these days. I don't know if they can prevent her. Yunwu's eyes narrowed, and the corners of his mouth outlined a strange smile. Over the camp, a shadow of the Yunjiajin came in the air. Cloud Dance, wearing black gauze, is hiding in the barrack square, observing the movement around, but it is strange to find that there is no one around the barracks. Is there no one on patrol? Suddenly, Yunwu felt as if her body was controlled by something and could not move at all. It's Lingli Array. The nihilistic power array formed by gathering all kinds of power. At that moment, more than a dozen shadows came towards her with a sharp speed and a strong power. Yunwu frowned slightly. After seeing the shadow clearly, the corner of his mouth raised, and a touch of interesting taste passed by his eyes. Actually found her hiding in, then have a good time with you. Suddenly, a touch of dark purple power gushed out, and the spirit power array was broken. More than a dozen figures came quickly. They were beaten back by the broken spirit power of the spirit power array, and were stunned on the ground. Who dares to break into the army of the Cloud family at night? When Gao Yu heard something unusual, he came out of the tent and pointed a long sword at Yunwu. Cloud dance slightly low Mao, the corner of the mouth raises, the so-called Cloud family army, so point ability? Hearing this, Gao Yu looked at Yunwu with a sneer. Who are you? If it's a mistake, I advise you to leave quickly. By mistake? Haha, you're wrong. I'm to provoke. The cloud dances, the eye light is shining, the lip corner under the black veil is sketching a light smile. Just as her voice fell, the dozen soldiers who had just attacked her immediately surrounded her. That posture is like an array. Suddenly, Yunwu felt a vague sense of oppression. A dozen soldiers pointed at her with long swords in their hands. Each sword was engraved with a moon mark, which was full of strange brilliance in the moonlight. Cloud Dance looks at long sword, eyes suddenly surprised. Those swords are absorbing the essence of the moon? This is the first time she has seen that there is still a way to absorb the essence of sun and moon. The sword is shining like the moon. Yunwu smiles and looks forward to the next picture. Take it. With a command, more than a dozen long swords came in the air, and with cool power, they went straight to the clouds. Hoo-hoo brush. There was a roar overhead. Yunwu raised her eyes slightly and looked up at the sky. With an awe-inspiring smile at the corner of her mouth, she was full of dark purple fighting spirit. She broke through the spirit power in an instant and went into the air more and more. Air. The broken spirit force backfired, and more than a dozen soldiers fell to the ground in an instant. And Cloud Dance looks at the skirt that is scratched rotten by the edge of spirit power. A trace of satisfaction looks in the eye light. Don't fight. You're not her match. Just as a dozen soldiers were ready to rise to fight back, a calm voice, like water, suddenly came out through the cold night. All people hear the words that make Xiande say, all is tiny alung, immediately take a trace of doubt to look back. Not her rival? This array is taught by Ling Xintian himself. It has the power of array. They have learned it by themselves. Make Xiande from camp came out, the corners of the mouth hang smile, all the way to Cloud Dance walked in the past. So did not come back, a return under such a heavy hand, you do not care? Cloud Dance tiny a pick eyebrow, understand this make Xiande already know is she. So, she directly reached out to take off the hood and glanced at Ling Xiantian. Her eyes were a little dull. She was going to play with them for a while. People's faces changed when they saw Yunwu's beautiful face. This engraved into their mind beautiful girl. In addition to the 9 miss, who else? The next second, I saw all the soldiers on the scene, all bowed their heads respectfully and called, Miss 9. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, glanced at them, looking back at Gao Yu cold way. Gather 100 elite, tomorrow morning with me to leave. Yes, Miss 9. Gao Yu nodded respectfully, but he was more or less puzzled. Could it be that something big was going to happen? Miss 9, are they up to your standard? Gao Yu glanced at the ragged skirt and asked a little embarrassed Cloud Dance. Yunwu just gave a cold smile. Do you think they would be alive if she didn't show mercy? Ling Xiantian looks at Gao Yu and shakes his head helplessly. Just now, Cloud Dance only uses 4 points of strength. On the one hand, it can break the battle. On the other hand, it won't hurt them, but it can't resist. It can be said that the scale is very good. How can ordinary people do this? Gao Yu was stunned, then lowered his head and left. Cloud Dance looks at the figure that he leaves, shallow smile. Shall we begin? Ling Xuanshan looks at Yunwu, and can guess what she wants to do. Cloud Dance slightly jaw head, eyes light in the clear sweep. Shall I come with you? Make Xiande know what she wants to do, must indirectly related to his grandfather, so the heart is looking forward to Cloud Dance can let him go with. Cloud Dance coagulates his one eye, the Mao light contemplates a flash to die. I don't know what he means. It's just that it's not the right time for her to reveal her identity. She's just beginning to face up to tens of thousands of beasts. I don't know what will happen, and the time is not ripe that you're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.